Hello, 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 hello. Greetings to each and everyone. Today it's about to go down. My name is Prima Shows and welcome to Prima Shows TV. Yes, we are live and colored. Today, don't miss today's show. Don't miss it at all. If you miss it, you're going to miss a lot. Stay tuned, don't go nowhere. Ewie adofo me dase me chia obi bia ohwe me sabri me din na ye Frema Shows Cocoa Butter Bruni o se kroma ho fidua Paul amamantem na so misne dikanfo ene me wo me nkasa me nua bema Oliver oye freedom fighter na so face the country convener ene ye ne de ba twetwe nkomo oba be ye nyina ye ba besua de afi Oliver ho enti ebra ye twen Oliver bo moden na share video no mame na like video na video no mu entimi emie emame anyesa video na enko bebia e pese ye nyina yesua de afri mu na nye me nua bema Oliver nko a ene na ye ne betwetwe nkomo freedom fighters nyina enso ebedwane yen e wo Frema Shows TV e wo ha se wo hwe yen a ene na wo hwe wo mia bebre wo behwe wo bebia say video yi and as a video yi ye be fa no e wo all social media and it is se wo hwe me abomoden na share video no e ma me na ansa na no ye be to ensa frɛ ye nua be ma Oliver na wa join no hwe Oliver video bi a interview wo ye ni nsɛm a woka ene nyansade a ewo mu e na me pese osua free mu ene video yi se wo hwe na wantumi asua bibia mfiri mu a na kyese wo se wo mre nya daje ene freedom fighters face the country ene ye mon komo ne animu nyina enye den entwetwe nkomo se ne be ya mubeti amanyosem na se ene de
but I assure you, just like Henry VIII said to each of his wives, I shall not keep you long. I must warn you though that my intervention today is likely going to be rambling, so I hope you come to it expecting neither structure nor form. I originally intended it as a poem rather than a policy document. For me, it's a poem about resilience and the promise of a new Ghana. In that respect, I suspect that my intervention is likely to be quite different in tone than anything else you've heard today. Now, 8 months ago, I was a different person. I was a person preoccupied with different interests, mainly the philosophy of law and cognitive psychology. I was a person convinced, like many of my generation, that our democracy had not only failed, but was irremediably broken. We knew it needed fixing, that much we were certain of. Except between us, we understood intuitively that it was impossible to fix. And even if it wasn't, our politics will not allow it. It was too vicious. Innocent lives had been lost in the project to face Ghana. Many had been maimed and communities left fractured. In many regards, those lost and broken lives served as a cautionary tale for why we citizens, or perhaps more accurately subjects, needed to remain pliant and toe the line. We knew to stay away from any ambitious projects of reimagining or pursuing a different vision for our society. Our parents raised us to be afraid of dreaming different. They made no virtue of bold defiance against the political system that had impoverished them and us. My generation was raised to give up. The price of our democracy is that it killed our imagination. It undermined our self-worth and made us distrust the legitimacy of our dreams. There's no denying that before Fix the Country, I too enjoyed the benefit of my relative anonymity. I was known only to those who knew me, and those who knew me well. I was hardly the object of public controversy. And Ghana's broken politics served only as a periodic distraction from a life I had a better grasp on. It was both peaceful and valued. It was a life that took me to working in the biggest law and policy firm in Washington, D.C., in close proximity with several officials who had served high-level roles in the Clinton and Obama administrations, including even Obama's former Attorney General Eric Holder, to the International Court of Justice and to the Legal Office of the United Nations. So in a sense, nothing was missing. And yet something was, if that makes sense. So to fix the country deprived me of my anonymity and thrust me and perhaps the entire nation into a conversation that I think we can all agree came at a time we had not chosen. And yet it came too late. And in that it was disruptive to my life and those of my fellow activists and to our professional engagements. At the time, we did not fully understand what we were signing up for. Fix the Country has aged me and the numerous others who volunteered to take up this charge twice as fast. And yet we took the blows and stood steadfast. You know, when Macho Kaka died, something died in me and the other Fix the Country activists that day, and with him. We lost the desire to apologize for our advocacy, as well as the self-preservation instinct that thrives on stroking the egos of a political class that has taken this country hostage and is actively killing us, both literally and figuratively. When I set out to think through what I wanted to say today, I had contemplated talking to you about 7 reasons why I think Fix the Country will fail. You know, I'd given a talk along similar lines to the Socialist Solidarity Ghana, a group that had invited me to speak on social justice, youth activism, and democracy. And it seemed like an opportunity to refine my thoughts better on the subject and continue to tease out some of the dangers that lurk and continue to test Fix the Country's resilience, you know, as a vehicle for mobilizing and organizing working class people to take charge of our democracy. But some way, you know, midway, I decided to swap my pessimism for candor. So hear this and hear me well. Fix the Country is the bravest and boldest thing that has happened to our democracy in a very long time. It is the sum of our aspirations and evidence of our resilience as a people. Though we are beaten, we will not give up. It is the reminder that the moral arc of our nation's conscience, however long it takes, will eventually bend towards freedom and justice. That no matter how long it takes, the people of Ghana will triumph. May tomorrow's generations look back to these moments and say that their parents did this. And boy, did we make them proud. And they will feel a sense of pride that emboldens them to fight more and even more bravely. When the story of Fix the Country is told, I hope it will be of a generation that decided to fight against all odds. Because even as the power of the state has become so corrupted as to hunt us, to dismiss us from our jobs, to threaten our livelihoods, conduct illegal surveillance on us, and to shoot innocent civilians in their own communities. Even when the courts and the judicial process were weaponized to fight our quest for freedom, we stood tall. Ours is a story of 1,000 heartbeats linked together by a desire for change and a belief in the cause of righteousness. When we sang that God should make us bold to defend our nation and the cause of freedom and of rights, when nursery children today, still studying under trees and in dilapidated classrooms, many years after our independence, sing the same songs, Fix the Country is what they sing of. When we sang that God make us cherish fearless honesty and help us to resist oppressors' rule, Fix the Country was the courage we sang for and the fearless honesty we yearned for. Can we then afford for Fix the Country to fail? This is a call to duty for all of us to shed the shyness and timidity of a generation past. For if we are to reform our democracy, we as citizens must show up. We must shut our ears to those whose stock in trade is to weaponize fear, partisanship, and ethnicity to derail our project. The youth and civic-minded people of this country must understand that time alone will not fix Ghana. Hoping that the benefit of time alone will improve governance in this country is to fail to learn from history. We can no longer afford to give time time. The people of Haiti had the same expectations of time when they became independent in 1804. Today, they are one of the poorest countries in the world. Liberia proclaimed its independence in 1848. Today, they are still one of the world's poorest. My fellow subjects, let us not underestimate the destructive power of generational greed and horrible ideas, as well as its ability to be twice as resilient as our quest for freedom. Bad ideas form political parties too. They mobilize people too. They compete for elections too. They form younger cadres, name them Pain or Tescon, and siphon out the soul of young people. They promise them that the public kitty will be theirs for the taking if they are patient and loyal, if they defend corruption with their might, if they insult journalists and abuse activists. The forces that hold this country back are so entrenched in everyday processes that we have become blind to them. To reform our democracy, good people can no longer afford to sit aloof. We cannot leave the burden of activism to a few individuals. Many young people today have put their lives on the line by volunteering their time and energy in the hopes of drawing attention to the fierce urgency of our poverty and those of our parents. We have pointed out the deceptions of this dictatorship of no alternatives that is hidden under the cloak of a superficial multipartisan democracy. Party politics has become a vehicle for rot, corruption, arrogance, and abuse of power. Our hospitals and our roads are killing us. Our school systems are preparing us to fail. Nothing works in this country. To get justice, you must pay for the police to come to your house and investigate the crime. You must go and find the suspect yourself, and you must pay for them to come and effect an arrest. You must pay for them to bring a suspect to court. You must pay for them to show up. This is not a democracy. This is a system that works for only those who are rich and notorious. Half of this country lives in kiosk and dilapidated buildings. There are more Ghanaians living below the poverty line than they did when we sacked the colonial oppressors. Selikem Timothy Donko just tweeted, governance is nothing if the people are suffering. We are a society without a vision. We are led by a political class that act like priests who have lost their faith but have continued to keep their jobs. We are a vision-led society led by quacks who are not honest enough to admit they are in over their heads. And even if this country were to break down completely, our political class will steal the doorknob on the way out. This is the legacy of the Fourth Republic. This is the legacy of a 65-year-old nation. Can we then afford to fix the country to fail? We were lulled into a false sense of security, so we forgot to be vigilant. We allowed in a new set of oppressors and a system of government based on structural inequity. We have created a political class that is greedy, vicious, and unrepentant. They then seize the opportunity to impoverish us. And when we demand more, they kill us. They kill us during elections and say we are armed robbers who are deserving of our death. They kill us at a jura and turn around and tell us we shot ourselves. If our deaths are meaningless to them, how much more our hunger and our poverty? If our deaths are meaningless to them, how much more our hunger and our poverty? You know, in the early beginnings of Fix the Country, I told you we were in a generational fight for the very soul of this nation. This is true today as it was true then. If we claim as subjects that our democracy gives us power, then we must be prepared to show that power, to trigger reform and brave democratic changes that this country urgently needs. We cannot leave our destiny in the hands of a political class that has shown us that we matter little to them. We must mute the conservatives who tell us that this is as good as it gets. For what does the rich and comfortable understand about the rage of a hungry and homeless generation? If we are to understand and deploy the real enormity of our power, we as a people need to stand together. I'm not talking about Kokromoti power. That's a myth. I'm talking about real power that only united action confers us. We need to stand up to show up. If we truly held power, we wouldn't be sitting aloof, expecting the same political class to initiate and design for us a different social contract, a new constitution that holds them to better account and restricts them even tightly than we are able to currently. If we truly held power, we would come together, mobilize together, work together, fundraise together, fight together. We will support Fix the Country and form other civic initiatives like it. We'll organize one of the biggest political protests this country has ever seen to demand for a better democracy. Just like our compatriots in Egypt, Sudan, Tunisia did. Except we will do it better. For we are Ghanaians after all. Our soul yearns for excellence and we would achieve it. That is how other societies have progressed. That is how the French Revolution against the oppressive monarchy happened. This is what happened in England. Citizens showed up to demand a new politics. So I ask you today, will you stand with the country or will you allow it to fail through your apathy and continuing disinterest? Because that's the message your silence sends. That fix the country must fail. Thank you, Samson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oliver. Thank you all for joining me as well. Adopomi Mama Kwaba, my president also. Minya Bema, Henry David, and so also. And Oliver, ebe joining na afiyedi nkomono ashesu. Minya Bema so kwa 44, and so I join ye. Yada obi biasi. Say ye to yen safre mo mase madaje na munyina mubebo ye nwa Bema Oliver echi na wetimi abebie ye ni ene. And then Jumedi Ayeba Bidi, Ayadisian, and no meaning in Ayeba Bisia. Say over the years, no freedom fighters, Tembi, I can't say for Ghana, and go for me brain tears, say, ah, then go for way crown when I bought more pounds, sorry, or more hydrino, or be a more hopa, a Ghana who do and I wo, and in tea and I ye, Nasa Ghana be ya, it's not no mean so, and ye, Obina be ya, my, you know, and I was ye, Emma Ghana, a cononym. Na, Yenya Bema Oliver, say we free sugar cry. Answer no bebano. My mama ye president, Dr. Ren. Dr. Ren, patch me more kwaba.
Yeah, and yeah.
Me that say. Ohini David TV, so me more kwaba.
Major so hima papa biaboko.
Nyame adu bi aboko me that say.
Wonderful.
And I yanka say ya de nyina ye ka chiri ba ko pe kwa 44 more kwaba.
Major so mommy. Major so pa, me jidi say mommy.
Me pass small boy danger or boy juma di mountain. And yeah, train Oliver now. Oliver Enyama ye president Dr. Ren also. Dr. Ren and she Oliver intina ye share wa ha na ye be bonechi dom se ne be ya or de good news ebe magana for na fe yensu yesua bibi e de free mu ansa na Oliver ebe ba no me pese wo ka bibi efa freedom fighters cry ye hwan. What we are seeing, yes, we are billionaire, and our money now 1 billion B. And yes, sorry, and I hear the sense I want your president. On say, I didn't so your president, as some commenting also in a babijina. And if freedom fighters cry, you're why na you Oliver joining and enough, ya two question a day, I'm a man.
Yo, Winnie Abba, Madam Payne, Fonsoise, me who said, Marshal, Field Marshal, Ohini David, Ewasi, and Aqua 44, so a kayo. Ubisa ya freedom fighter there or you be a or take part efa a year the crew say the crew no betimi ejina baby a edemunyam ewom nti obi a sebio woti crew mo hunu se nneoma ekochima no na wode nano atum se da bi yenhwe ma ne nsei ansa na ebi ya no aka no nti freedom fighter ye obi a de bia no of fight man the crew nti ye wa ha nyina na ye ko age ye man nti ye friend okoje aman nti ye din freedom fighters no de battery ya sekire mu a ye ko se wo man Ghana no be fa ne ntoma pefra ye kasa ye kan nyina na se sebio ye be hu results nti de bia me kasa the insult will not stop unless we see results. So the only thing that cancels insult is results. In this me call school no me mbo me homodin ya me be fia me papa onka se mambo me homodin ntimi mbaji cake there be obetwi manim nti se ye fa omampanyin ekufu ado anasa amampanyinfo omaba besi atwem na wo mbo mo homodin ya ese ye ka de bia me ka se meja ya ma menua Oliver be no de bia me ka se yesi wankasa wo tiri hu ayeyi wayi bone eya bebu a eye nyansa wo mpa nti yenkasa nyasa ekufu ado obeyi yeyi bone ti ma menja ma eye frima
Yo, me that's it. You know, Bema Oliver, so you're more kwaba.
Bacha okasa ne mbenti no wadaroma. Sa obeye hu bibia ma ya Mr. Oliver. Yente won kan kra.
em se we meet you hu ana
I'm so we're muting him accidentally.
There be I was am say wakotie call say utie kwa eyi you know mic no kokoma yi nti I was say refresh your phone and sana what me asen rem why.
Okay.
Aha. Okay. Nti sister and my mentor aso na all refreshing the phone ya be no. Doctor Empancho my say doc and confirm say Mr. Oliver Barker aye on.
Mipacho kasani ewe se eto nka.
Wadaroma menim dia wo use there ubetumi a refresh na why ubetumi a restart ya nka beboa
Restart na sambre mu.
free mu wa na restart bibia na bra. Okay, thank you sir. Nti sister free ma manento chairman na onchire mu ma say freedom yen konkwati a freedom fighters obi a yakwa Ghana age ne fa ahodie dadaada Ghana age ne fa ahodie dadaada nti wadaroma eja ye ma wonkwase afo setete omo a ne ye beba nie ade simple no ntia se gese ye san chire mu biem kwase afo ndoso se ne enyansafo no isankan kraman na se bi mpredu ase ye do omo ma ye se freedom fighters montete omo enka damre yi ubodin Canada Japan obo se na kraman di America krrr chema untumi bo se no di America krrr nkraman no din no wo de frɛ na ano oba nti nkraman bi di se Canada Japan wo de frɛ kraman obeba sesia wo de frɛ chama untumi obeba sesia wo de frɛ aboa papon na so wusu bempa wo de frɛ hopeless adoy chese wo bo hopeless adoy bo se nkraman di so be wa hu ye di nipa man wa hu ba bia yakoduru nti ya fa ma chema why
Chama ne na chie mu mayen.
Yo, I'm say young comfort taka ya ji fa ho de awie ti ade na mo frɛ mo ho freedom fighters. The woman in ye ye kaso obi ye freedom fighter se ne amedi nkan kyerɛkyerɛ mu no. Na de to aso no eno na ye yankasa ye nyina ma ye nyina nyame ada Roma nananom ama ye nyina ye hie mu ba ko a ya adwene ye ba ko a ye fight ama ye kuro ni se we are taking part in a resistant movement against an oppressive governance, against a government omumwa emienya ye social basic amenities to even enjoy. Inti no obi kan ese nipa ne ti ase se ene yi na anda Kufuado no obi wa no kra kasa na ya bechew ameswale eti se eye MPB TV so se oba ha mumbu ni nku no metua mumbu no. These are the fight we are fighting against. You are fighting for social establishment.
Kenya MPB o Canada Japan say en fa nko 1990 baby aboni penny enko we president yedi na nko we be president e betimi akasa o Ghana
one of the president yedi no
Enko be mu nyina mu say
Oliver be was one of the president yedi.
Canada Japan so president.
Omo shada de aba be fama me ahwe reactions say na nko for be wo actually ka en na ka me ma kwa 44 nkonko di ayi ma yesisi ya.
Oh sir, I gave it to him. Yo, let me have my more.
Japan about me the same.
Thank you. Yo, everything for any the man yeah train on I can yeah give me a bear man Oliver. In Timpacho say what him in car ya mawakwaba.
Me who me do you understand how against the lana?
But our feedback kastia pa feedback kastia pa ana ate o sound no so ho enti aja open ya obre your time ma wonti de wo ha but modern na try say obe fix my wife
Na we nya so say Kufuado na sabotage no.
We dey na ni mo hwe mo me afa nkoma oni mo hwe
There be a problem with that.
Some my full name no my money ni na e bia madam be fa na Kufuado o to man kan ni na
Yo, and yeah, you be ma say ultimate car ya mawakwaba. Okay, we're free so. Okay, doctor, and yeah to aso kakra ma ye na obemu bi ma na fe ya hwe ne be.
Enti doctor baby ameme point ni gina no wadaroma omo say Ghana enya fa ahodie dada enti dey fight na mo fight ase age fa ahodie be na mo kwa akwaje biem.
Yeah, fighting agi a friend is against oppressors rule. Kufuado oppressing. or oppressive because at the end of the day, we catch and say it is a casual comedy.
Now 1967 independence you know swear.
Independence and the idea for every abrofu ensem.
And nanka abrofu no ka de nanka ye. Buenum kwakuo no be die so awurade Nyankopon.
Omo grade o ma say asem no.
Inti when mu de ande de wo bae no, o ma ba no kojo to because na de wo ni say, o say e bia meka say ewi ase no so obi nka ho a na say wo ne bobra sebio akwa sebio oba a wabre no nya ne sika bi no wakofa be ma bi be ma ne ante ennim bre no ase a oba otimi misbehave san so na be ma so kofo oba na so oba na ambra o misbehave akufu ado ne na abusua no Kwame Nkrumah ne gbedama mo agi fanwudi no o ma mbre bi enti ene no o ma ba mu no o mo nim ha wa ekuro no bre na ye bre no o mo nti ase and into no one say Corona Mayeno because they don't have the love Emma the Ghanaian. They don't have now no one say video be a freedom fighters yeah about sacrifice. And Ramit say Akufo-Addo can say Ghanaians should sacrifice because sacrifice. Now say Ghana for best sacrifice here. Young Busano said no sacrifice ben or the ama wo man. Our who send quadratic from them work for we $14,000 an hour. Our name say teacher for akatua ever from no one 2 more, so 1 2 more, or 2 more 4%. None of the other what 2 over 70%. The budget, never millions, what 2 budget mark billions. When is sacrifice?
Doc, me bacha where the mintawano sister Frema, Monte say sa as Gracia na ye who say a what 400,000 Ghana cedi no yeah they call 6 to 7,000 Ghana cedi. 4 billion to almost 7 billion. You see, NDC and NPP now, or my sad and not bet Minyante once him. And so Mumubi auntie, yeah, Master some of my young conquer personal investigations, now I'm finding out. Yeah, about
with the Minyante cry news scrum me. Hey, really?
Now, but Omagiatum, yes, Omagiatum the dada. Omagiatum, and I will be 4 billion beam. As Gracia and Ethiopia 4 billion. The cost 6 to 7.
Wow. And friend say, just say, and yes, she me do home crime in say, wow, and you look up research na yashi. I who say your back of fire on surgery or fire or more crab by Buffy muscles so.
Mutumika.
F4 ya tonka pa F1.
Madogba na mi akata amasia mafon. Munyina mo
na bala bi na ku.
Nice one. Bejidi se bushafo ye gina ye ho ye. Machia abedwafo a aje adwa wa ha nyina na machia ye nyina wona intimi ndwan ye nyina. Mufa ncham se my late kakra so mu ho de na ye nyina ye wa ha ne sa. Na minyamba mu no me beba so ya na me ti se mo discuss bibi. Mamencha chairman Dr. Mejidi se ho ye. Wey mu bisa man for bisa yen say the enti na Ghana ya di fa ho de we na ya sorry ati pente kwa gu social media so say pray for ho de na de be freedom na ya fight. Omo ebisa sa question no mu bisa omo ma me say omo ya Christopher na omo ya nkramufo wona ebisa sa question no say ta na tie de a ene ni kwan so obi akwa asore kobom mpa ye bi because boni na no nti wo kwa asore no Yesu abewu de ni moja ba betwa sa boni ni nyina mu ise je na akwa ya wasole de the Yesu abewu ade ni moja be pepa boni a wo ha no sen wa asole de ma moma ya so nkwa de bi ade bia kakakwe kurumasi se sa na tie na se mu betimi a kire mu dia ene na yenso ya pese a kire ma moti ase se denti abonsam da so tie ase na bonwuye enti muntimi nya mpaye ene asore kɔ no sa so pepepe na ene isa brofo ne na tie so ha ye na e di sa fa ho die na ene adamoni akukuru fi asefo ene abayifo na nkasa demons and principalities no mo ne yempanifo na mo ti krumasi enti san o mo ho nkonkotena ba bia nkoye bi nkodidi nkonom nkona enti ba bia ye temperate kwa wo so no enti se no mi kire mo se na wan tia se bi m de ne wo so kora hia mpaye bia enti na doctor kasa mo ma nto aso
Fire more cover. Doctor to asma ya bra twen Oliver.
Where you coordinator?
Doctor. Doctor, we de me ntwa wanu. Na wo de asoso ama me. Binum so ka say ye sha say ye kasa no so. Then na ye no ya achieve for so far. Nti na wo de no so ade atatu ama atie for no mwati.
Yo, say achievement ni de nyame encha de ene no Ghana ni dodo no a ene ye be ya adwene say ya twe Ghana for adwene abesi wo man no kru no ayetimu no say yenkaya no ntum se ehunu bibi a ye momode ne yembie ya no ne yenkasa ene another thing ya say ne say gradually ni ye take fear no a free Ghana ni no a those days when you MP ana ne yima hye no na odrimika gidigidi no wokotokoto no na ayese wo sonsom ye MP no ene no fear no so ya bomodin a gradually no ye free ma amanfo bebre no atumi eye bold etumi kasa for the first time I buy mebunu a ye nyina yetumi eye demonstration na enye political party ne taichi na enso ya na yaka ye ho abomu a yankase hu eye kwa 44 no wo fire mokodi wo eye Independence Square eye a friend is saying ene chenku ene enye easy na wo fire kemu na nsuo osa na eja na mehu se kwa 44 so no votic mineral water any pure water enye easy anything gradually no Ghana ni no akoda na hu no say so no so bie na no kasa because ekro no ye nyina ye stakeholders Akufo-Addo ni stake no enye greater than me ne ubie no ye nyina ye wo stake e wo Ghana mu it is Akufo-Addo ne kokromotie baako akwa 44 wo so de baako but one of the things that me be chat to na ye nua Oliver Abem ne say yen hye so say on the 7th of December 2024 ade bi a etesi enie ye bohu de rose obi bedi Ghana ni eye adwuma wo ana ya advertise enti sa wotise Akufo-Addo ekofa forms a eye adwuma no okope ni so obedi yanim enti sa adwuma
wow me ba cha obeyi wo sound na fi mama why
be me
am say wo tight ye ho ho nti no pa cha na mahwe Mr. Oliver Maya say bibia dem na afi ye ho why
yo
okay yo ene ye nua be ma Oliver me mo akwa ba biom
Ma min try say sound ne be here.
after the bibia
Eba correct. Okay.
we dey o chance dey wo America papa yo ene na abedwafo a mo ka me ho me da mo asem abedwan ne me message say obi ade ne mic ne beto mute amaye send be ya sound bia emem na ye ne ye nua be ma na twetwe nkomo obresi do so na eja ya ma mo nso makasa yo Oliver ye mo akwa ba eba Freema Shows TV so na eye de say watumi akon kan abedru sabri na ena no me pese atiefo ehu onipa kra Oliver oye de nti ameka ne se abodin na doso sesi a me amiti we me a doctor prophet evangelist bibia apostle okra de na se lawyer bibia me suma fa bi because sesi me hu sa abodin na hu nya so obeko school ansa na wanya abodin na mo mutimi fato mo so eno nti am ye hu se abodi ni nkofo de ato wo so na emom suku na wo se nkoko na abodi ni sipi no wantumi anko amana sipi nti se wo busa no dwuma title no na sa abodi na da ne so no a ohu ehu anu ye bia enti ena amenya we bi de minim se wo ye lawyer me pese wo ka kire tiefo se wo lawyer no eye abodi a ya fafa to ehu so bi no eno na wo fa to ho so ana se wo ko school na obenya abodi no na hin na wo ko school no
Vrema unim abodi a mempe kra ne lawyer no na me de na me ama fatu me ho se yosagefo eno mom na mepe lawyer no ye no krese me ko school but me no se na me ntiase a me wo law na ye no ho no chese eye calling eye ofre se ne bia ye frɛ sofo na bibi na ye frɛ wo se law edwuma no baye a na je se wo pese wo de boa amanfo eno na me law school a me call ye no sa na e kire mu ma me te ase nti me feel say bia adwuma a me ye no e bia se osagefo adwuma na ya na Ghana se ne ankofo bebre law na je se binim di si omoni so na je se de omode ye no ya na enya me fe nti ya na do na ya na introduce me kra me pese me de law no kra beka ho na second reason ponti ya na me pese me de law no beka ho ni se e be ye obi se e bia adwuma ye na de ye de esi ye ni so no e bia na woni law degree a untimi nya bi ebi a law degree ninti na je say yes ye ko age ye man na say ye freedom fighters a na bi obi ni susu emu no ebi na odwin say ehun behia say obenya law degree ansa edwuma aye ye wo so betumi aye bi da bi nti no mempese nchichemu beba ye mu mempese ebi no behu omo ho so mo kyai bi nti a me edi no meyi ato nkyɛn ade mafa osagefo a osagefo no esi mempekra me aye de aso ami dada nti no me magie atom.
Okay, me da say na school ben na wo e wo msade say ebia wo mpe lawyer na da udin so for osagefo yete ase o na school ben na wakọ abi ni sisi abempepen so ben na wo ba bedru sabre.
Me da say me call law school ewo Harvard or US Harvard Law School and say me wo Cambridge University me PhD Cambridge University UK.
Hey, wow, why we a lawyer? What's your papa PhD? Not just wow, that is good. Okay, and son of Ghana now we UK. A dear research and now we UK and son of Ghana.
Me research mainly my interests back on both constitutional law and international law. Now, one of the things that na me hwemu in international law no, I idea a friend no rationality me 16th century philosophy ne ho kro na me nije ho. Na dia me hwemu ne se me hwe senia yen developing countries nye bibi mankwa international law no yebetimi afa yentuma paafra na se na mra no international law no se ne asia hyehyɛ na afa ai ni mu ayen a yentimi enyina ye nanso international affairs mu eno research na me
Yo me da say afa yen fanko but ayentia enne ye wa ha ye pese for ihu Oliver na afa mu tie Oliver na bra bo mu nsem ne ne wa fam since obe join freedom fighter na say freedom fix the country obe free UK aba Ghana no utro bibi e wo page ni so because me obi a me follow party bibi obe tro bi a me share e come page ni so e ma me tro say momo mpa ye ma enua be ma Oliver February no na nim say oba Ghana ye be chew adinti na unim say oba Ghana ye be chew na say once now UK na wan dwen won na oba Ghana adinti ya
Unim edwuma ye edi ato ye ho so ye frɛ ye ho freedom fighters no. One of the things that na from the very beginning me nya ho ntiase and I understood say akoko ye queen and na say ye de ato ye ho say ye frɛ ye ho freedom fighters no. E say nya ntiase say aban na ye na say nkrofo ye ni omudile no. Chine de ebe chiyan yanchew so wanka so wo se okun agi fa hodie na se fa hodie na wo kun agi fa hodie no yanchew wo de wo ye nimu a enye se obi antake you serious yan threaten wa enye se obi antake you serious enye se de wo ye no wo ye adebone na mum omo kura to me na omo de ye adebone no wo be ka no kra kire omo na che se nyese wo ka no kra no kwa wo de si wani so se wo be boaboa nkrofo ano na che se we bie nkrofo ani na mo ako age mo fa ahode de eya afiase de mbeko. But one of the things that make kire me ho ne se bedu sam pempenso no na se bedu sam mre no so na se me hu se eno besi a se me dwane na se me decide se bia se me magana na se e be chi me ntimi magana se me menye de se me ye na dia ena de ekon na me ye no ena me ntiase papa because nkrofo no mo Ghana na ye pese omo hu de ye pese ye ni ye encourage omo se ese ye konji ye fa ahode no se ye bedu samre no na ye edwane gya omo ho ne dia no mo se nye kukudro na hu hia se ye de be ye sa adwuma no ye ni se kukudro ni bi nti me decide se meba na de omo pese omo de ye me bia no omo fa ye me na Ghana fo nyina ehu said ye can nya asema ye can no kwa enye se bia ebinum na je se yen yedi eyi bi esi ni so se ade enim na je se ye ka bi egum ye be se Ghana fo nyina ehu no mani omo de mani to ho no hu se ampa de nkrofo yi kan ni je se okon omo kun say yen nyina ye ho beto yen na fa de nti na binom a ye omo ye mpanyifo anka de ankola yiye de mebunu de so mani so ka ese ko mo no mo som no mo ma oman ni ko nanim no aden na omomom na ye twa ye ho a ye chi omo anase ye de omo tum nze nti me ba ye no pese me hu na me kire Ghana fo ne se mebunu ne se adwuma no ye no ye nim risk e wo me nim a year ebefam but se na ye drum pempen so bia yen ye ni eni si ye bia fa no enye nnu na bebo ye hu enye nnu na be ma ye jai de se ye magana fa no tuma pafra.
Wow. Yeah, that's it. Any okukudru. Wa ma yin na hu say yes be man sinsu mu ansa na wo ham ampa enokwa. Ene e man nyina yensu ye beba. Ne nyina be sinsu mu ansa na ham. Yeah, that's it. Any munyam sha wo dia chef is the country. Na me pesa wo kan bibi efa ebra ye chi wo no. Ade ntina ye chi wo ye de ko ashaman. Udi de ntina o mo chi wo enokwa de minim.
Yeah.
Ade detention I want to know. Na de ntina ye de ko ashaman. Police stations be brave or
Okay.
at then as shaman you do koi.
Yeah.
At the way freedom fighting Tiana Tiana.
You know, one of the things I answer na meba no say na o sika ye no me kan to us ayade a minim say ye beche me. Na chi say ya ka kire me. In fact, me ba Ghana no na Denmark ambassador and European Union for na invite me two different events like me ma speech. One of them Danish ambassador there no person me beka say you use technology say you social media ni say ya wo de ma kebi memu no beko nanim no say na yen face the country for you use we do something so yi me beka ho asem na me ni be discuss and the second one no so no me ni European Commission no na omo say na omo hwe Ghana ye democracy na say kebi memu na ye wo no etia sign ma ebinom edi some of the soldier for and police for di ewudisem ana so mo prepare nkrofo omo ko amase oman be yeyie no ye de police ne military ne ye threaten omo nti ka me ne omo betwetwe hu nkomo ana me accept invitation na me buy na me say me ba 1 week na answer me ba na me nyantie ni say na aban mpanyimfo ne bi discuss say ka ye nchime before the event no ana say train me event in the so I already knew that conversation. Me lawyers, answer na me ba no me lawyers in say discuss options. Na me transit me go far Portugal. I have about 2 hours. Na me airport on na phone so na me no discuss strategy. Say na me de me nyama betu 2 year. Say me ba say na ye chime ani bibia. Nti me bedru ye no na lawyers 3 na mienu e wo airport ena back wo airport police station no more train said the embassy be and at least no o me make sure say me won perform o my ready o mo be defend me na me bedru ye no na o mo hu say me no ena immigration for no twe me tena say anaso mo twe me call another corner me try say me friend me lawyer for mo so mo mpini ena crofonu bia na ebinom ahye military fatigue ebinom plain clothes omo to go me so ache say omo bro me bia fine for 5 hours and the whole time na me lawyer speak me be do by 5 p.m. For 5 hours na na ye omo torture me na me lawyers nim the airport no mo koba omo try friend for within the immigration service say my bed land there so eventually I mean they make call be arrest be so me mo na ya pack a lot of vans be an just an for quick tour bebre ye de me two mo call another part of the airport also could do for me kama na ye nyina na me bi some say then my first of all then my me person me name lawyer se kasa me can we nyina no na bomb me more but na me nim say me de me bi se ni nyina no reaction a menya wo mu ni nso na me pese na one of the things I make sure answer na me ba ne say one of the reasons I'm so more chiming because me said from beginning no more pay me chiming. Reason I'm also more pay me chiming and say me say me coup the coup d'etat it ya na me say and I me chere Ghana for say I did me pese mo hwɛ ni say obi betimi agree and I say bi mo betimi ni me enya adwen say bia de me chere no a crime and I say my phone mra. I don't know the most important thing say my phone mra ni me ni. But omo say omo da yenim na kemma me nke bia mamu no omo no mo hwe so amayen se du sam pempenso na ye mra na ye de akyekyere ye ho no ombedi so ana na pese mo hwe nti no nti me hyede koso abisa omo se na constitution ne kani se me rights ni me se ye ma me ho kwan na me hu lawyer se mo ka me phone so kyere me we nyina no na me ka nyina no ye bom asom ye tintoso gu me so ye de omobuti yem etietia me so omo ye yi nyina no na me koso e bi so omo this question nti bedu na ebi no po threat me say me ha no de me law nsem no emmoa me konye constitution nsem na me mba beka na mo betimi ama ma yera krama me hu onhu bebia me wo one of the things are na omo pese omo hu omo Jimmy phone they say on person me hu say makra obi say day ni day na meba na because one of the things I me hear and say me de say me ka say me ba Ghana no me share that na me de only the dates I may give speech no to online mam chro the very day I may arrive at the airport and so person me hu omo hu say me ka kire obi say me arrive on that day and that's that time na and I make catch him say yes. In fact, me catch him my lawyers who say I'm coming, but they wanted proof of it. You know, until my phone no person will be, and I'm saying me be ma. And you know, omo catch him say, omit me the omo ye omit me a bomb me baby obi who say the area mini. Until omo nja mark. Until me ye mu dear. Yes, you see me kama. Until we do be bakunya call. Nti omunya call wie no ka kire omo say yesi yenyimi mfi airport o rekwa nya me enim tama ye yin fi airport ne de na me feeling ni say ekukumi you know because all that has happened no till that time ne there that was the feeling I got and I didn't tena police can well VAT bi mu bi na military military for yi bi tete me nchai me nsa benkum ne me nsa nifa and omode bibi kata miti and almost started driving. And so more driving, more feed traffic nim. And no more speed. I mean, say yeah, motorway so. Son, I had me call, you know. Baby, at later maybe who say Shaman police station. And the Accra ni arrest me fear they me pa, you know, airport police station home. No crowing na besenko Ashama. Now question say na question now will be some say na Shaman ya de me call you know. You know, a question me bisa me who be kakra. But one of the things I came to quickly realize is that you can one of the rough jails Ghana, Ashama, one of them. And then me feel me one of the things that Matthias and say be another person we and pan say on person me baby me feel and I say the be my super and I say the be omo di mewu and don't say the me ko Ashama is the feeling I had. But who be say mo ameni omo koda ho say identity de ba Ashama so some response is different. So make sure say Ashama na de mba no de mba say me a miracle. Say omo so no be nam me so ma omo so no obi beti omo asem. So omo so be nam me so ma you know nti no yeah nti who be say omo perspective as say the omo kan no e wo say won so an say me omo miracle no nti obi an his perspective o wom me say nen no obi sa me a I think say I will have that perspective and say nyaminim de oye and I say you know bibia won ne kwan so say Ashama na de me call ye and whatever reason de me call ho nti no e be fa so e de anyonyam abre adwuma ye ne face the country ye
that's it na me ma menua ba shine your eyes any mama ba akwaba menua ba ma Oliver ebro na ye sha say ye bo no ebro no sha se efri airport na hwan mu na ebro no to aso ekoduru hinfa
So yet me buy, you know, the first, I mean, me drew immigration. Kai said, na me expect it be sir. And to me passport ma immigration officer no. And offer another person buy. And me share the bisa and say, oh, BB na. I not see oh, system ni down. And one I me saw CDM, you know, and immediately na me fa phone na me frere. Me kai say me be frere lawyers. One I you know, they're threatening me say you can't use the phone. And I'm saying I want to call my lawyers because I think I am under arrest. You see happening. And he pulling me call another part of the airport now as an immigration officers know how for almost 45 minutes. And at some point, that means he said, you know, I think I would leave. That may be someone say, am I under arrest? You say, no, you're not under arrest. You say, okay. So when you're under arrest, and this is one of the things I make catch you be. Anytime I only police, when you're any situation be. Now, ubisa say wa arrest. Or wachi wa na no se there be on arrest wa. Try say walk. Who try say wo fee ho because now or stop you with the clearly you're under arrest. So that's one of the things I told them. Say okay, well, so when you're under arrest, then you beko. And one no started say we nim na you know o try and the by year or hano. So but you know less than 5 minutes, and he PM ko share some office ho. In the office ho no now I started to too many around. Now I say you now me try say me who any name say be a wine office ni because I needed to start registering what is happening. You know, so I saw somebody's name and I mean fan to just say I can a lawsuit in a year, no. And nipa no inside no see me find my phone in mano and I'm saying oh, there's no reason me name at the current tempo in the phone no me find mano I no start say so or hear me and no PA na nipa you know I think 3 or 4 ebemu no mo she mufti no mo you know ekrekre through o man ka hwe why na say from mechi na start bomasum into mo bomasum no mo you know ebutu me na me be some say what is the basis of my arrest. I need to speak to my lawyers na any dey o near di gumi so any near tunto so gumi so near the boot ni ebutu me yem. And all this time now me can't I want to I need to see my lawyers. You know so it started at airport and this went on I think for 45 to an hour.
Woo.
You know before you be me PA or no me PA fee and took me outside the airport towards tarmac baby airplanes no one na you know na oma park cars no bebre na no mo gina ho with a two no bebre and your farming no mo driving me and no mo driving me call another side of the part of the airport and a private facility meaning say security for no use and I say I don't know. I actually don't know because I think that it was a bit towards me you know if I'm trying to because what I was trying to do is say as I'm moving in now me try to make planning the layout of the airport with my team because I know say who be here. So I think it was towards the other part old wabagana na same one. They said temna train nothing ho. But not original airport side no one. A whole side. Any dem call nechi no me dem ko share ho. And the ho no you know, omo dem ko share no mo rem no you know the handcuffed me. Na other new group of people I'm some buy here to say almost say omo to aso no mo yame you know no mo tutunte so gumi so no mo bomeni so no mo cancel I gbeni so ye nipa kwasia na just say yebon omo so all those things no mo bobo. Then the only thing I just kept saying is that I want the right to my lawyer because that means say any idea make can be just say best the omo ye no but the most important thing is say I need to show say I have insisted for my right to a lawyer. So he arrested me by 5 p.m. Tama yebe yimi fi airport call Ashaman police station. It was almost 11. So for nearly 5 to 6 hours, this is what was happening.
Wow.
And
Wow.
anyway,
Sorry.
one of the things ways, because me kai say yeah de bibi share me team there was no reason say I be cover my name. So when they make a police station, that's one of the reasons why immediately, I felt from all the threat no more can say with me, obi enim sekra say the idea you the fact that they share me team gave me that indication, because they make a police station. Who cares about baby Edemeko? I mean, I would know say police station Edemeko. So what reason in Tia be cover me? So that's where my first instinct started feeling from. In the eco motorway in Sumpono, me shada catch from say me pese me drunso. And my thinking then was hoping say, because I need to find a way to run away. And I didn't want us to get to wherever Edemeko. And I know that there's not enough light on the motorway. So one of the things I catch from say me pese me drunso. And I'm going to say, "Opa create nigu."
Oh my God.
7. And my feeling in that moment, was okay. I don't know whether, because he said, whether these people were videoing me. Say, video, whatever was happening. So I just, decided that in that moment to make my voice louder. No, maybe some of a lawyer, me money yeah louder. So say, video be or move video be and I best say, and I say, we be bemu, and it to be clear what I was asking for in that moment. Oh, not just that to throw you there. Not just a make a be not just to throw in there na more. Instead, me call motorway no so no. I mean, in my mind, I knew it was the motorway because not speed now more kono. And just speed no to try call traffic mukakra and they go park you baby. A train kakra na be ya de infimity. Instead, ya de no na police lights in the BB and just darkness na what no. It took a while for me, my eyes to adjust. Me never adjusted to environment na me woman. And eventually me who environment, and then I started getting a sense that na a police station. There no crampo no, even then cranny mama tina car ni mo cra check akra. Because they needed to go and I think they went upstairs to go and talk to the Ashaman police commander. No. So I was in there for a while, and suddenly they may call Ashaman police station and handing me over to them. You be me raw me home and put me in the cell.
Wow. When you now film or bray or born in your film, I didn't know we now when Jai fix the country, when Jai freedom fighter. Now see you are even stronger than before. Again, how?
William, one of the things I think that experiences I mean no jail no nkofo ameni omo twetwe nkomo ewo ho hu the situations am ko hu ye no ma me feel bisa me hu say nti de ye ni senia ya encourage Ghana for mebunu abedru mpempensu yi se me be fi ha na de mafemu nti me be ka se me be jai de ye na message ben ye send to yenuanum. And no was one of the biggest motivating factor for me. Say near ejuma ye inti no. The besi bia whatever has happened no. Maybe the enum be mu and understand say this is why at the current year ku ayeka se year ku agifa hudie no. Nintia ni meaning nankasa na mefemu no. Because any way ni yefemu a there will be no reason say yebede edin kase yebeto ye ho so say ye frɛ ye ho freedom fighters.
Wow.
Say freedom wo ho fa hundie wo ho dada. Then I will prefer hundie. So these are some of the conversations I had with myself. Now me Troy, I mean, I wrote for almost 300 pages and I was doing a lot of reading. South African apartheid, say, na di omo femu, Desmond Tutu, Steve Biko, all those experiences now. I did a lot of reading. Me read 13 books in the time there. And I saw, a lot of them went through worse there. Massacres. You shoot nipa over 200 people dead. Police for so all just so that they can get their freedom. Now, yeah, freedom no, no, freedom from poverty, economic freedom. So it is an understanding of what me say. See a big die, some big jai way in India, and I just said, yeah, no, a shiegu. And then no, motivate me. I say, I'll continue what I'm doing.
Money ejuma power ye. What she in your ding? Yes, the Beman seems one sound.
My main plug me computer me power ne call for it.
Martin Medasi. You know, my journey, Mama Ba, shine your eyes. Madam say, Monso, my joy, and the yin I used to the every year, my Oliver. Now, me did ye say, yes, so yin I be free up corner I ding. Ghana and yin I be cop. And I could face whatever we need to face. And yes, I know, and I come here say, you be my Oliver and I was so far yin and say, we are going through all this through social media, dear. Nanso no. In fact, omunjai on social media, kromo tata or baby, can I anchor, send a bay or more they say. We are stronger than that. And it's Mammy send me some say, freedom fighters the country, a Juma ye, no. Come here, say, yama opposition party. Yentimi for third party be a my. And see what ye say, opposition party or bebano. Preaching and ye preaching near Juma ye. And the sign be bebana, and I sense the sign be a my connoisseur.
One of the questions I think they face the country in freedom fighters. No question will be sir. Now, a lot of the times, no Crawford say, just a one party a mass Siana and a more year Juma ama NDC say a mombe benefiting. But one of the things I am making say one Ghana for no GDA or more. And found say what party or say one tea party. Ghana for bebre no Ghana for who party for a long time. Omo party bebre. And there was a reason why party getting into me survive. We share all the times now Barker-Vormawor syndrome. I started standing here elections both on CPP tickets and also on Nwakote PPP no. All in the presidential debates, issues no more can no be added to say no Barker-Vormawor syndrome can't maybe or can't dear can't Ghana for akuma. But despite we no matter echi no matter for the two main parties. So one of the things Matthias said the fact that what party in interest Ghana for no better amount by all means.
Yeah.
So the first question is said, "Then be Ghana for no be penny, and I saw me tie the no be di echi, wejuma ye no." And then the most important question, the critical question, say yebisa. So you see ye bi nkrofo ni ye twe nkrofo aso a, sen ye na sifa, strategy ben ye deko. Na ye nkoye the same mistakes no, na just say sen nkrofo wo enidaso ye so. Nkrofo no wo, believe say the country to be at the papa beba na freedom fight ye the bibi papa beba no. Ye pray ye ho na ya nya na fanya man to 2 years. Then we'll end up like the two parties now mabetin akon. And the two opposition main parties they want us to do and some person here they say yeah and some person tea party no. Because some tia say game ni ya dey away for 30 years. And if you don't understand how to go about it, now they are prepare a creative political party within just 1 year. Then they'll be only be two game. You say sabi yes kwase ani wo ani kwase ni agro enye sa na kwase ano ono wo beba ne level no obi ti with experience omo wo game yi ho experience. So if that's the most important thing, the first thing I be saying say, okay, how can we proceed send ye be ko yenim progressively kakra ye di nyama beto 2 years send ye be ya the time na yes Ghana for some to abama yen and na some onye say no na yenyan krofo dodo omudi echi a omu believe yen a omedi echi ma me ma example bi fix the country say no you see a movement mewa say you can say you register as political party ye de marano and the political party no I see it offices all the regions in this country. I say in your district offices and so. In terms of your donations, now you bit me receiving impono. You will mra and how to go about it. Now, Siciano, yeah, face the country, your momo air for the signing, you know. You were 500 and last time you were 370 something. And I make call, you know, you on Henry David show so in the beginning deep kakraka on about 571 or 72. Political parties no primaries no they're spending 50 million cedis. Okay. Yeah, well, face the country you need trog. You need yenko villages bebre. Regions ni yenko ka region we bakun we yenka say region where the yafemoama there were reps in every corner of that day. Bet me the movement near build it up at the nyama to 2 years. And Obian said ye no fa hunde ni yepe. And you say ye kasa keke. But ye could do baby ye in so near first of all no ye trainee ye home. Secondly, so ye identify in crofo bet me di say yanko nan crofo to about different constituencies man crofo ye be yo munye. This is the process I ye come. So the objective no is 2 parties near be chum if you. But what we will do is say we will not make the same mistakes now. Small parties need to say CPP, PNC, we are not making the same mistakes again. Yeah, fano kakra. Yeah, making sure say be do some so no. Ghana for no aji yedi. Your message as ye kra no important message. Last time me call boss me can say your constitution that host see anompo no. O de yesu be de enim kra obewi aye. Ehun be hia say mra na ye de be sisi ho no mpo no for adwuma ye no. Eye mra nkofo nim say ye ni yen ka say ye you know ye ho te ana say ye kronkronfo. But ye nim mistakes are ewo ho. Say na you know MPP ni ndisi de bia no mo position ka chen say as a constitution, yes, son on some bedi we are no more, you know. It says, I am in yet to home near the fire one answer. That's the second thing. The another thing they say, me say 2023, your district assembly elections. Okay. Yeah, number of district assemblymen, assemblywomen, and more Ghana, no. Almost 30,000. See, a person building momentum. Now you're starting no incrementally kakra. You see, okay, you pay nipa 100 in every region. Normal standing assemblyman. That's 1,600 people. So 1,600 people now you push your mono. You organizers, no. You mobilizers, no. Across the country. Into you build the movement kakra. So see another day, you corporate 2024 election and you're there to me really. Because we don't have the money. We don't have the structures. Nti mama yemfa ho pepre enkodru ho. Edwuma ne ya sha ase no. Yenim objective da yenim. Mempo no ubisa me a, anya me kwa amadwempo, ye nyina ye di ho nkomo. Se ubisa me a, meka se the first time I ever failed the presidential candidate no no, ke yen 10 years. Yen target parliament. Yen build. Se first parliamentary is nya 5 ne ye hope se adwuma omba ye no mko ye dia malema mo ye wo South Africa magana fo hu say yes omo anko didi MPP ni DCH omo Grassroots na de bi omo criticize na ba ye no omo say community project omo de nyina akogum ye nyimo kapre because we don't believe in that setimi ye nyama Ghana fo no betimi age ye dia then we are getting somewhere kasa ye kasa no mpo no ebi no feel say bia NDC adwuma ne ye for them no unless they be employed NDC beba, now they will see the way I carry your home, who say the day and we are continuing towards that objective and answers our goal now. See, anya sa anya de ometimi agi yedi. That's me perspective. Me see yem building a kakra. District assembly elections are be near the BIA. Diaspora chapters na ye see ye creating no. Ni ye creating senia ye koho, normal buy-in in terms of connections, fundraising. Assemble to be Ghana puno. Na ye chapter USDC. Any US senators akoshia about the issues what Ghana. That is how you fight for freedom. Sada mi huno. Me man example bi say ye papa Kwame Nkrumah mo omo pray for hundie mpo na enye ye nkrofo na say nye bibifo mpo na die so ya abrofo na omo 100 mpo no. It took them over 10 years, about 12 years to get independence. Enye kwa. So I don't want it to make like, but that's my perspective. And other people can share their opinion. But the most important thing is, what is the most solid basis? You bet me drew, objectives now. You bet me drew.
Talking about constitution, Tembia freedom fighters ye can ye kasafa constitution ho. Na adenti na ye kase constitution omun review. Na ye catch say omun sano and as ye replace the constitution no. Edie na ye enye wo constitution nim edie so na eye wo constitution nim. Na me kai say atamels mreso MC ye mrantie bia sabre no ye mu say mo review constitution no nanka bia nsan ye betimi abemu a na minim say oka ho bi eno so no edie na wo kan fa constitution ho eden kwa na freedom fighters and as a free the country you see you replacing no but not reviewing it.
Me that say, one of the things about constitution is say you nyama mienu you want the content the womb and you want a process send you see buffer send you kwan be fa so aba abemu na send you kan yes in 2010 no yeah constitution review process yeah recommendations 200 almost 300 211 recommendations say yes sign or constitution baku 211 okay Ubisa me yeah I no say okay I don't know any bibisa na 211 changes our constitution nimo for example and I may say omo da ye nim no omo blocky process no ye that recommendations ni na we no mo ka kire yan say attorney general no say wo pese osesa sanya ma we nyina e say issue baku bia no utro new amendment bill would be changing no. That process, from start to finish, will take 3 years for each one. Senior Parliament be debating a Council of State, a back, or measure be debating a referendum. You bet 2 Parliament, Finance Minister discover about vote, and then they be a referendum. No, 3 years for one recommendation. So you be 211 recommendation changes now. That's 633 years. Because metina hobby now me a part of the discussion me who say almost sheda no de be the amendment no efa ye ni so but yenye ho hwe because someone says that process no blocked. So one of the things that you're suggesting is say you can say a new constitution sa changes na mo kan nyina no you say the ne fa document no ni enye all that changes in one document ni friend new constitution ni enfa magana for one referendum. No one can say you vote once. You vote once, ni adopt one document. Now and no better than your constitution. Second of all, no one pay new document now. That is that na team. So it's about and then the process now the changing, because the process of amendment, bema process now a bit block it. You mean yet they say no. The second thing is say content na you can new constitution the my explain natural when say ne bet me ama ye changes ne ye kan nyina beba mu nti ne ye kan new no so that be no once and for all. But the first say ye kan new constitution in che say bibia constitution nim nyina no ye beto egu enya no ne ye kan because changes ne dorso ne ye ni 633 years say ye be betena ho nti no ye consolidate all that changes ne ye ntworo one document. So it's about the process because many want to say the people don't want to change anything about the constitution. Until you kasa, some more kasa any amendment in kwa. Some of the amendment no more can see no. Two, for example, one, President Akufo-Addo said the no penny say assemblyman ye no. Ye for party in some no assembly elections. Near assemblyman ye NDC for assemblyman, MPP for assemblyman. Na parliament back on cran and cray who so. Gonna for do one say no near pe. What say a DC ye say a per se to DC a basono. Omo ma Constitution Review Commission ma process be. Seka Public Services Commission. Nkofo be apply say na wo pe job no. Ye hwe track record. Ye be ye interview. Ye nipa 3. Na nipa 3 no ye cho ba amomo. Because these are managers. And ye politicians. Because local level no dey per se drive development. Some mentality no ye per se ye dey ye. Obviously there be mama yenya ne sa. Akufo-Addo no say ye party policy on dey no kwa no pe. Yenya no district level no kwa sa. O ka say open amendment ye be one issue be say na dey abrel. O ka say open amendment say ye attorney general no on one minister of justice. I'm say ye nchemu na ba konye minister of justice na ba konye attorney general. Nti ye create 2 posts. And no ni ye change because constitution no ma ho kwan. Nti ye change ye no pe e constitution. Saja man kiti emfafa hundie ne mrew. Ne man you know there say na ye betimi structure constitution no. Say bia na mote say bia oboase say na ye too good wo ho no. Ye say ye ma obi am be too say good no. And unless say community no benya 30% shares ewo company be too good nim. Na sa shares na eba directly inside kwa himfofo ho. Eba directly into the community for projects. And no be say such changes when ye can. But even they for example say no, I've been matina sa commission no ehu say ne nyamasiko. And no na mu na ye frame no, ye framing the new constitution. Ni say be ye can say ye be a difficult. Ye nim say they betting protect Ghana for interest. But say ne Ghana for do na 86% ehu constitution in that. Ah mu nim mu hwe no. Omo de mo for ne say be oh, say dey say dey ye nto ntwene. Enye no ne ye kan. One thing, no de be a finance be fa ho say be oh yenye but constitution e di boomerang ye di bu o man no ebinom nim pa de ewom sesia na emma yenko yenim sankrofo no nim say di bu omo pese changes na say ye wom no pese ye be ye eno such changes no eno ntia ye ka new constitution ho asem no na mame fa kakra bi nso so one of the projects ye dey see yenim na ye beka ho asem. One of the things I work on no tamale as a next step of activities. Ne yenya funding be and the be ho mene you know ye di ho come privately mo bebre nim about yenya funding be e be ho press conference. Funding no my yen create yet this my escape ye betimi a drafted a different constitutional amendment bill. Yeah, you be drafted, you be pushy. True member of parliament. I best it's part of the constitution. Part never sisano. A be man who can say yen pupu no. You bet me a boy home. You signatures. You drafted the constitution. You best sisano no. Ne I drafted. Na ya jiji signatures. In your signatures to a level na. A be force your mom to initiate referendum. You be go vote wo directly. And no ni ye working on. Because one of the things I see and say fahundie ni ye pese ba repeat the mistakes of the past. So we are focusing on constitutional change, you know. And you know, we are focusing on in this year, no, it means you funding from you know an organization to do this work. So I know you better join the appropriate time.
And it's what did you say current political party and as a political party be a bit to me actually wants to say constitution of freedom fighters makasa ka ho asamo obese sano ana wo did say and as you say yan kasa ne force ne best san ade.
You know, on opposition there any one so bit me aka say oh ye buy best sano because time the constitution is see ho no first na MPP kan and say constitution ye mfo so enye papa ye ba first ye be ye say best sano and now man pay kufo buy ye kan ya wanye ye be yi o mampanyin Akufo ne 2008 election no mo nyina all the political parties in fact Nana Akufo-Addo no die ni mo say ono be create constitution review commission a betimi asesa ye constitution say no be di aboa Ghana for ana ye bon say man no bebre and na say election when winning na Professor Mills winning here and the first step Professor Mills here and say o create this constitution review commission no na ono obeka baby basically all of the parties no any ready. And my example, tamana yen yekoye e-levy demonstration by an NDC some kwakoye demonstration no. And I'm tun sa free fees the country and say okay. First time na mo free crofo ye communication tax na Akufo abreso. And na crofo di mo chia na mo say mo ba mo be yi communication tax ne fi ho. But NDC buy number 2 mu instead. Yen pese ba be di NDC echi. Say ne mu ba be demonstration fa e-levy ho. Number promises mu be yi. Na eba na ma say increase no biom. Nti de yen de da ye boso ne say ye pese ye constitution ho baby. Nti se mo be ye press conference na mo announce say constitution no. Ye be ye ho bibi a ye be di mo echi because I didn't hear long term change no ne ye pe. Because tax no de mo di dada yen. And this for say, hey, I don't know, because yen's constitution, I'm more money wine. In fact, Professor Mahama last speech no no. About constitution about so bebre one word say on message constitution no. Okay, I make me throw post BBC say Mahama speech no bebre no. Feel the country for mo te say or case of my constitution home bibi ana. Obi anka ho we. So that's the most important thing. Me no dear, I think say yen de ye say nye se power ne yepe for power sake say ne betimi asese nyama ne yepe inti se constitution asem no ne yebedi so ne yebepe funding ne yebetimi akoso ne ye movie Ghana for no ne yepe signatures ne ye movie omo to the street cause say benye constitution papa ebedi aboa yen na ye so yakoagye ye man ampa. So that process ne de nya de yebetimi jai atu baby na till this point ne de party bi eni ho a omo nyina test constitution no why na adwin so person ye ho bibi to this point.
Wow. And then now my question you chat on Eja Amawako. Maybe say bisa say adenti na won't stand there as a member of parliament and as a Mrashi Bedreni. Aden now because me share wa farmer any odo a woma Ghana. Me gidi yes say what me come be emaye ebe boy ama freedom fighters face the country no. Your message no it's me akwechiri. Oh stand there na then away. Your message you chat on. I'm your question you chat on.
One of the things I mean from the very beginning, chef is the country as here. They said, "Say personally, no, me interested in say you be me into office. Say, but then me the president to say me call parliament. My role, he said, make so that all other people, competent people, say we say, you be identifying Crawford and then give them and push them. I think the Jumani year no. Say 10 years na me see no. I can my best role I made me play is to keep building face the country at that point. And we have so many competent people who are more anymore. We are in the process of identifying certain constituencies. You share demographic changes now. Everything diabwa to push those people to go forward. So when person be a bit be a mean kwan say me call answer. You bit me a koy him. Me obia when the role of movement no play. Me movement me role and say I'm playing the role of semi administrator. Say me to 2 years and pushing people and keeping this flag moving. Now me anticipating all the kind of yeah. That's my main motivation, you know. And I know it's a bit me identifying Crawford. The second thing is even say I identify Obi and I identify constituency, I didn't panic on. And see a Kai say face the country a support base, no appetite in the entire country. And then you know one constituency. And so for instance, say Bema you be choose Sabia, you find say I was so west, we are gone. Near the Obi be kohwa. Now you know no more man on now with me at Tobe, you know. Now Mrano, because me name Mrano, no, let me say, okay, you will be a friend of proxy. Nipa ne bako ye registration amount. Nipa ne beto abana amount. Na yen fees the country for ye name say nipa 20,000 crown on one man on your support face the country now. You can register mun nyina was one constituency nim. Ni afa omafa your proxies no so akoto aba amanipa no. Se ne ya ho ndin ni nyina no ye de be gina the key constituencies nim. Na it may electing crofo. And yes, I need to contest the entire country now. You supporting you know, you be petiting you now. But also be 400 waha. No, be 600 waha. Sabi you know, you need about 1, 2, 3, 4 constituencies. No, not towards election day. You basi and crofo you to elect the people now. You say electing now. That is understanding a strategy of electing people.
Wow.
You know, so this is what I think generally of the best way say bit meeting Krofwako. But I think say Mangasa personally there, my best support for face the country is to grow this movement.
Okay.
You know, and make sure say Krofwako.
Okay, me that say. I'm say me manom me bema Oliver. I'm say me question just one me dia ma no. Me ma me ba mama ba akasa ya ono so question bi de mawa mama ba if you na ye call inua ba shine your eyes so eti mama me mo akwa ba wo question bi ma inua be ma Oliver no
yeah sister Frima me da say na me da tie for so nyina ase ye do mo ase bebiri say anytime bia ya jin mere say ya mo so say o ma da age na mo digina so kopim tema ye be wie program ye do mo ase ba ye sro mo say omo mo den ya na omo share video no pa ma if say enyo omo a nka yedumadi ye di nka enko ba bi omo na support ye ama nne so ye ka freedom fighters a ye so ye tim jina ba bi ka say ye freedom fighters ye ba na mo support ye mo share video na enko e na ye bra Oliver so ye da na se bebiri in fact wa je bi tema na okasa no eduru ba bi no na metim hu say yiyawo na ne were ya ho na nka nye so ye be ma se nka yo ba nka obesu by ade ba kwa mpese me ka kire ma de hye ne hunkura ne se e wo say ade we no o feel proud wo ho e wo say o feel mama ne nya o ye fi say wo say o feel proud say wo because of Ghana nti tu ya do kotum no enye boni bi na wa ye wo enye because of wo nti ya do kotum o because of Ghana amanfo mo ho kire mo omo ni bia na wo dwuno mo ho I hope say ka Oliver nko a nka saa momo taxi yanko mo de on fa ho o woni bibi di nti nko mbeti ne taxi na e ka ono nko anko mfa ho ba odwune ahiafo ye ma mo so ne meton ne ma wo kwan ho na yesia ba beti o musika no enne ye ne ye ya e ka ono na busuan kwan ko mfa na no kore ntum nti ye da na se na ye very proud say ye nya nipa saa e wo ye mu say watimi asi ne bo ye no bia e ka akukuru ka mo ka sa mbeti nka ye nko ka me se me nko me de o maka chere so mbeti ma me nko mo nko che me saa de be o maka so mbeti no nti ni nyina achi wakọ ade ne ho akwakoto ama Ghana na akwọshin ba mpese mbisa ne say oye lawyer na onimo mre na ya chew fi say I hope say enye mra say ye be chi obi na ye be bu saa abra ye nyanka de ntia ya chew korapo na ye chew na ye buru ye police fu wo se nko mo ho maye police fu wo se nko obi nya asem kwa na ka be chi nipa na abo na omo na nko mo ji abo ye ho ba say ye mmo ma wumpira no omo mmo na achew e buru no I say who feel prison ho nom no bibia no betima ya afa ho mra bia ntimi ne omuni nti so omo abo no omo afa omo ho adikwa a wo so ye lawyer fisa wo say ye nua bi mu bi mkoma omo nye lawyers omo anu nduru ba bia na wo wo ye lawyer wo so ko face bia hu no mra bia ntimi ne omuni omo abo afa omo ho adi free enna mpese mi hu
Sorry, me da say. My mama example be. Tama ye che me no. Me call da cells ho no. Na you know first 48 hours na say di mraso. Ye de me call court in 48 hours no. Police for na anye. Ye de me call, I said de me call court massem no betimi di massem no. Police for na anye. E de me call court no ka chem say untimi nye me ho hwe. Just o try remind me biom. Aya di police for no eye no da. Na meko do cells when na me hwe nkrofo mo ho. Na nkrofo ni die. Na nkrofo dem over 12 days, 14 days. Ni inform nko court. Camera se 48 hours e dey o court na me decide say me de me ho but dey hear me the betun chain. Me apply for bail, mammy home. Me chi assembly, me sue police no, kwa do Supreme Court. Tamana, ena no na me ye. Police for no be survey me order send me phone no. Me bie me phone nano. Na omko hwehwe say crime wo mo a. Normally no, enya de a you know, mrama ho kwan process order na betimi dia breme. Me decide say me challenge sa order no. Na me even say me challenge na me say police for no cry no. Ye tie me cause that because omko for terrorism act law. Echo high court, echo di another order mpo na me challenge we work court. But the current me challenge ni say na mrano be clarified ma obi dachi obi so bitibeti gina so I can know actually police for. Na asema obi say me ni de me call mu nyina no. From day na if you answer me pie no mpo no na me lawyers are drafted you know for SAB sue police. Na sue na ebe sue police no. Yeda so a yebe ko yenim a yesu police ne wo ho se ne be fa so atwe nkrofo aso wo ho ye no na se ye ko Ghana cost na Ghana no kra eni ni a ye plan se be ko akosi African Union court because enye se me ya ma me ho me ye for dachi asemunti se na obi fa sasi to nim se na mra no court a clarify no afeni na omuso mu hu nti no de miniaba men ye njai kra ye be kopa a yesu omo ewo hu
okay na ne woka asem bi wo ntimi fa sa kwahye gbentu asoma na san asoso mrem woka setama okoduru ho no wo hwe amanfo hawa na omo wo mu prison wo ntu decide say umpe bail unko apply for bail setama wasam ne ba ye gina mbebira na ye kabi mo da bia na ye kasa omo kasa bia 2 weeks ye mfa wo mra ye beti 2 weeks ne ye say ye nyido ya sade ne kwa akotum na ma ye de hit company for no so ne ya worry nti e ma obi be ma comment bi say unse do ma he na start na adwuma ya odi because of the freedom fighters yes start ya kasa o say enu nti watie ye a o siesie du kurom nti papa na sha ase e be kan say o support ye de ye na apart from atem na ye di non support ba adwuma na nsem na ye kan de ni nyina wo support na ono so ye judge I hope say wasem no mo call no ko kan asem no nti e ba asa na bi mo say papa no kra mo so na mo say o support mo na say na Oliver kra ko no kra ka ho bi na o say mo Oliver be no nti e ma ye twe be papa ni no say da bi e ye mra na ye di ye adwuma Oliver nya apply for bail nti so onya apply ya ye ntimi ma ni bail nti wasem ya wo kan ye na mpese wo san kre ho no ma ye hu say e ye wu mom na wo mpe bail nti na wo hye ho no enye ye judge for na no mo delay wo ho no na ye hu ho ni ye so almost na delay wa na ye hu
osagefo ye doma hene medanase na bail amenya ye no onam ono no so nana so na menya sa bail na nim na kodae na ebia one day ono so beka obeka na asem won krofududu o mo frɛ no se mama ne mama bail no one day ebia ono so beka na asem na dan na o mama bail no po no ka kire me se masem ni nti 2 days ni on night court corner reporters no kasa point one kan nyina nsi ad kronti ya no on da o case no ho ndi bia one day ono so beka obeka na asem me bompa say you know say bia na nyama musisa a ono no bye chief justice okrom ha e Ghana because ntiase owo ma mra ntiase owo ma edwuma ye ne ekwan esi ye faso na ekwan ye kun na ye judiciary pom moayen no na ehu no sa ye judge ka ho no e bompa say one day ba be chief justice wo Ghana me na me decide say me apply for me bail because say na me ko hu nkrofo was that situation no na be me ya say immediately me yi me ho afi that situation dem eja nkrofo ho nti me decide say wo hwe ye court system na sa de na police for ye no no account ma sa yi na ye de call akọ Supreme Court no refuse some nti asem no a ka sa dana at least nipa 10,000 oh your cells come be pie
wow
So me this me could pay hono, you know, I know the situation conditions na a woman no terrible, but me catch them say Ghana for na wa no. Ghana for team as long as I'm 40 hundred there, me so me that brainy, me so make that brainy. And me tena homa, me lawyers na apply ya ko see Supreme Court. As Supreme Court refuses on tie. And so na me I apply for bail ama me ho. Now two things are not that so say one, na ye feedi nkrofo wo cells ho. Na me call cells ho no. Na me sell me na me adopting nkrofo a na me ma ska na de bia ye aduane bra anopa wiane anajo ye aduane bra ba ma be feeding nkrofo wo cells ho. The be too many so say me pia the issue say ye feeding nkrofo wo cells no. Me taking it up. And no na nam so a ye be ye fix the country ye be ye fundraising say ye ko feedi inmates now. Police for no or Minister of Security, National Security, free police for someone won't your donation. No. But almost someone donation, the police for no release statement. Can say, and you know, Krena make an aya feed inmates. Make us say no, Nansemo, Ashama police station. Obi omoche no, they come so abewu atrash or cells we afa home. Asem no, ye they call out a bisa police for some my budget omunya from 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, omu di feed inmates no, omu releases information no maye, yenhwe. But 3 weeks ni omu respond here. Mrama on some respond here in 2 weeks. Yes, about mrana say omu ye bi some no man maye ye be escalating no to Inspector General of Police, IGP. Ni said the same request akotudeni also 2 weeks. Yeah, no so yeah. Someone nya ye dey omo call Right to Information Commission. Na no kra wo hom no na Ghana fo nyine ehu na me masem na me de kɔ no so no me de inmates ni bi nso asem no bɛka ho about some mesu police no what the fact say otimi chiro bi now the che ho now che ne come for how long and so ye de bɛka ho bi inmates na me ko share no say no kra no ebi no magi bail amom dada e chena Monday kra me court a me represent ebi no mo am ko share mo ewo a shaman cells so into my say na me no me na me decide say me ye activist na me say me ye freedom fighter say ma ko pisa situation nim no na de dia me nim so ne say me contact a minute prison system na ye no e say improve system no na enfam enam me so na system no improve eno ho adwuma na metumi ho a me ye sese ya.
Okay.
Your mama, you better say. And you're not mean you about shine your eyes, me that say, no about no wadaje. Me pacho also question be of how person or the ma in your bema Oliver, pacho bit mama nako.
You say the kind of meda PFO nyina ase ona wetimi abo ho mode ahye program no ye do masipa nyame hira wo bibia na me call Mr. Oliver so the kind of Ghana for edana se papa ene nkodene a wako ede am wo man Ghana ena say tiefo a wo dwumadi esu nyina atie dia wako famu enam Ghana ma Ghana hodo da chinchirima wo mu ba ehodo bra wa bra ne nyina ya yeden yate sen kaka wono nko a se da mama di kaka ye no woni bibidi ko ha no ho kra se wo ba akofa sa situation wi abra wo mu chirem tie nyina ye di adanke se no wo fi banko betima tena ne baabi edi ni dwuma a omfo bibia enti no yeda na se pa aposifo a anka wo mu no eye wo ma sadie me ade ensem bi se koso a ade ba kwa ya na eye meja se oman ayetimu no oman bi abekoso so oman bi abeye yi a efiri ahoban bofo aposifo eni asrafo a omu baji ato wo mu ho so edi dwumapa na omu bema pepepe ye akoso ewo man ni mu no wo mum antimi angina amfama oman Ghana na yenua be me bo no wodere senke obekon kodre de am oman no obekasa afasa eneme ekoso yi leviom bia besoa ahiafo asu ko obekasa ama ebi aka sankofuo we wo mabusuafo because mugu police aso ye ho no mu no Mobusuafo nyina ebre ena yebetie ni ekum nipa bra boss say oman no bibia nkoso wo oman ni mu enti Mr. Oliver nkodina nka wo no bosifo na ntimi antena se anwene ho ahu se saa kun we na wo ama wo mu nyina akọ ma wo nchirima anwo manfo odo support instead no omu ye wo madwene se omu bebre na se kakra omu no omu bedie order from above se wo ban nyansa na wo ma fa wo mu ahoɔden no wo madwene amboa o my Ghana wo mu yi wo madwene so wo mbekɔso abre nipa bi mu a wo mu do atu wo mu asi wo se wo mu bɛko a ama o man no wo mu betata wo mu dia eni wo mu nkan hunu se 5 years time 10 years time no se yenya obi a nani da hɔ wɔyɛ patriotic a oba bedi wo man ni so ama enhyira ni bia bɛka obi eni wo mu nkan hunu se saa time no obi abɛfa ne bag ayɛ adwane afiri wo man Ghana mu na me question kakra am say me wo ma Mr. Oliver ne say enti no ampa se no obi e kasa o mu se yensesa emra no constitution no yensesa no enti no saa emra no yesesa no a ebeye yi ana because last time no obi ni me di nkomo eni pa no frame ya no oni me di nkomo no o kase constitution na freedom fighters in the country for ye solid be I say omun sisa no enya ade eda fom enya easy se obi besisa enti se wo ba na we wa adwene se wo ba besisa mlana wan hwe a wunya kwan yede emma mpo no ba ba yede abesisa mlana enti no me pese me busa Mr. Oliver so wakoya mlanim so obi ba no wo pepa se obesisa emra ni mu a ekwan da wo se enipa no etimi sisa na.
Yeah, slowly over to you.
May I say, first of all, no, one of the things that Constitution Review Commission, our Professor Mills addressed, for a very long time, no, survey be on no, 80 to almost between 80 to 90% of Ghanaians say almost so say a constitution who be. Ghana for do nim say a constitution no problem. Now say opinion for mu ye mo no a dear dom when so and I said there's some year and said the Ghana for pe there's some year. First of all, they ain't no moon and yet the Ghana for pe. Secondly, no, one of the things I mean, yaka to this point, me say, it's very easy to change. The question is, how do we change it? You know, the question is there, how do we change it? The Moka say, Omokan say yenya amendment, and I said, this is a constitution, no. Na eba nyaman ye my no, no. And I say within the correct time because they decided to say, one by one, sending son of Mokana, and then over 600 years, no be take it, say, Besanyamano. See a fact, the Constitution Review Commission and Kwakai and Pony and Fire new ones and Kahua into me. The second thing is that for Constitution amendment process, no me Constitution Review Commission and American. One of the discussions and here in the commission, and they say ye propose bibi na eye ebe boa Ghana for na Ghana for no boduro na jituma. One of the questions na commission be say won say na the way ye recommend dia ye leaders you meji atumuni. The reason is say you mo create constitution review commission no omo ye ne said ye be produce a report 1,000-page report ni ye be ye no e advice keke e man panyifo into mo pa no mo jitum omo mpa no mo aboagu. It's a man yes a commission and kasa no decide say ebi ana yantete ade ne so a omo no empene so see yi enu fi oni decide say you be we constitution here the call referendum straight there the majority of Ghanaians would vote for Adepa. Example ni say you Nana Akufo-Addo creative regions no who create say we call referendum go to referendum no over 90% is to Musa Yenkriti Oti region, Western North, name all the other regions, there are 6 regions here you create. So it depends on sending a choir a person the first one you creating. So okay, so by anything and another okay. Now see no party NDC MPP in some district assembly level now. Ghana for no be to. But so okay said as Gracia ni yempenu yenyin fi ho. Ghana sika ni yenya no yemfa dodo no nko local level. Na local no yetimi manage senia uni kwan a uni hospital na enye se mo twan minister bi no de scanner bro. Sika no ewo district level no na ho na se motimi ye adwuma na Ghana for dodo no befo aso. So changes need the ewo bebre. But the problem is say me ma example. Current system ayewe National Health Insurance Levy. Yejeje ye de bia to ye yetuye. Scan na omunya ye no nanado aban. Omo de 3% pen call health insurance for her. Scan na aka no omodi. Inti no se obekwa yaresa bia scan na ye de be improve your hospitals. Scan na ye de be to nro amankrofo no se scan no ya fedi. Constitution no enya hwe stop you from doing that. Your constitution can man say come ye sana causing financial loss to the states. Ubeko work them. Asade we omunye. The constitution no say omoma local assemblies no a percentage of your revenue nyina. Sa percentage no omumfanko. The district necessary omotuto no na Accra for no ma contract no Accra no ma obi ye contract am obi say ko to cars yemfanko districts. Nascan you spending on national level. And no name my villages nin tumpon, and no name my grow nan grofun in a film Accra because politicians need to be a go Accra. Constitution no man kwan. Ti nyama bi wo white bi ti sano. And you say you can say yes constitution is sano for no reason yes sano kwa. Nyama bi wo abuta bi nyama bi wo die ni so say it Mrs. Sanofa. Now we conversation na grofun man de bia na. Sa nyama na high no mum no e no mon discuss here no. So you know the truth is mrebie ni ho a ye de si ho a no because obedi onni mra no so obetimi nya mra na kasa betimi asori epagya no ho se me ame be enforce me ho nipa na be enforce mra no. But one of the examples I man say utimi dream mra ho creatively se ne obema ho kwan se ne a ye enforce mra no directly. Sorry, example ni say ye nuanom omo sal santrophy akpafo lolobi na likwe ye yi omo fi hu se ne MPP pe MP ewo voter region nti last day catch them omo nto abani bi then I face the country here se se anu ye be petition say ye nyi electoral commissioner ni fi ho bibi wo constitution ma e ma ho kwan ma yetimi ye bibi fa ho and you say complain keke but it me ye bibi direct se bibi direct wo ho se na ebia California ye wo bibi e friend recall elections se uko yi wo MP na onye adwuma na mutime trigger recall ya ye be friend no back ye mpenu biom ye wo nyama kete bi wo yi be promise bibi na wanya what mechanism can you take ye tibi di nyama no bebre hihye constitution nim se ne so mo so monye adwuma ne po a people nankasa no be trigger process no directly. And then you can say you between the man children of say ye so that say institutions na nye dwuma the people no betimi nya ho kwan aye nyama no direct. And no san jama no ne pese e de constitution. You know, that's what we are talking about.
Okay.
Me that's it. Me pacho we there. Me call Mr. Doctor, Mr. So my uncle in your bar sugar so Madam we do me na da yintimi fa ne kakra na da ye de yento komo ne so. Me ya bar sugar me mo akwa ba ba free masho so.
Sugar oh mute.
Frema me da se mpacho te menka.
Ah fi de yete on papa man komonko. Wo question bi ma Oliver ana.
I'm a question be man na we dey mesre asema beto mo fanche me na mo amunim say adwuma se me ya Mr. Oliver Emra, Yadiki Adawase back door, and I just want to say thank you, Ewo Amanfonim, for what you did and not giving up, because I will give you up, and wama yen sexy form. And secondly, so over out, wama me yet to say a chill to they want you to keep your mouth shut. Nka oba is and Kalbeka one want to nka you will not mind, but still now you are still pushing, say we should do an interview and all that. We just want to say thank you. But my question, Abra na no question be minim says ye busa okra. I am so sorry, say man join it earlier. Udam no and some na ye busa abronye DC no nyina ba out. Say we are Mahama, John Dramani Mahama Akoda, John Dramani Mahama office. Now we are Jumama omo mepesa hono okle ema manfo hunu ete hono asie because ye nim say abronye DC ne sa hopeless adoya or hope sin adoya and the rest no mudi tro the Ghana fo bebre enkrofobia omunyate asem baako a eno ano no they don't judge from two sides who said this is what another side they can win another city say obetimi I explain hona my kakra enki ani bejo ena me de ma no besi no I know sister wo wife nyanhwe ya ye pese ye dana say ebra wo dem so wo fiance so wo wife ye dana say wo gina wachi na when you wama obaya or that's the team home. So Mr. Oliver, near me wama one. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Mekramo, mesh back door. All right.
Martin, sugar. First of all, I mean, can say sugar. Every time you have a program, no na oye jumante. Juma dia obori ye pa. Me bon pa ise Ghana photo do na so e benye juma sa na chese. De bi anso e benye juma sa na aye bi. You know, one of the things I had na esisi me so na ya me bisa me ho say nti Ghana for dodo na hwe obi ti say abronye na abronye kasa a ye gine ye fa na serious a ye ni si ye ni so ene ye dwuma na ebeche o se timi fo obi ti say abronye serious pa na se bia de bia frema shows ba na se ne obi nkofo ani na de abronye beka na de ni nyina to the same level dia ye dwuma na ebeche pa. You know, Abronya can your kind, no, and in fact, and your first time or kind, yes, chef is the country. I said no come interviews be brave. Say me na me presidential staffer. Na me $20,000. No hokro. Can be brave. In the beginning, me consider I said, should I sue him? And I came to realize that on Kennedy Japan, a Juma Moya no. Only say, Ghana or the court or the assembly the whole, even if you win people, what can you go that? 10 years, we do that too. Oh, me say my lawyer name, there's some quarter. Court no be expect this as some me can answer publicly. Only the obeka and they will continue doing that. So we debated it back and forth. Or the same thing right here. If you're a dog catching say you're flying to Dubai, why new crow. You're discussing here as to whether or not suing the person is the best option. And he decided say we won't sue it. But one of the things I did, and I know there's nothing better than the truth itself. So Nami Yejuma, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Nami, I was one of Ghana's diplomats. They trained me as a diplomat. And during the period now, Professor Mills, Mahama War office, I was working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs till 2015. And I'm resigning here, and I make call. And I left for Miko Harvard. Now, one of the things I decided to do is me pay slips from all those periods that me be chair coin. And then I went and I was able to get all that pay slip. Because Okachi and Crawford said me just sent $20,000 for my time and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, even though I was a diplomat of this country. Now me akituya between 800 and 1,000 Ghana cedis. In fact, I was teaching as a adjunct lecturer at Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. Oh, let me train international law. Those are some of the things I was doing to supplement my own income. And yet, because before I joined, I was private consulting. So there was no point I received from this government or the past government or anybody any amount at no. But there was one thing which I didn't talk about. And I brought you any arrestee and arrested, me release a press statement from police cells. In fact, a no crama, a CIGP say I should stop giving a press statement now and making the government look bad. The press statement na me issue, I disclosed for the first time, say, when you're in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I will be a friend of Foreign Service liaison officer between the presidency and the foreign ministry. And the liaison officer, and because the ministry, the presidency, almost receive diplomats, you need to be our diplomatic training to be able to advise them. And so in the ministry at the presidency, you was civil service, you don't know them, they are not presidential staffers. So I received a letter to Manami Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And at the time, not the director of administration. Lady Ambassador Mercy Deborah. To say Mercy Deborah, Mercy Deborah Kakari, I think. The secretary to the president's cabinet, Nanado cabinet. I received a letter from her as director of administration. Say officers near Unipetu, May and Obifufro will be the foreign service officers. You're acting as liaison between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and AE. And so I should report to the director of civil service then at the presidency. And so the whole period, nobody knew that I was working for the civil service. And so Mambe disclosed this information. And I called on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, say they can take the rare and extraordinary steps, some issue statement. And saying, what was I doing? That I was a civil servant. And at every point throughout my time, I was on my civil servant salary. Beyond that, Ma say, if the president appoint presidential staffers, I saw the copy of the list, Eco Parliament. Okay, we won't say maybe Nanado appointed over 971, 900 and say no presidential staffers. A list of all those individuals the president must disclose to Parliament. Because to me, Parliament call their archives to retrieve every list that Mahama at the core president at the core Parliament as who the presidential staffers are. We go into the meeting. And all these things I gave it to, I gave it to the media. I didn't publish on it. In fact, the BBC, when the BBC spoke to me, Mami Elizabeth Ohene wrote to them also claiming, say, I've worked for 2 former presidents. They have, the BBC, in responding to her, have copies of my service record with a, because I won't even engage him in a conversation. But the most important is say, society be all kind same way. How long have we been in the country? Obika journalists been put a investigative journalist and go and investigate these things. But say maybe this me who say I would have to have my service record to be able to show. So no, at no point was I a presidential staffer or Mahama administration. I was a civil servant, reported to the civil service and foreign affairs. And maybe if I needed to do anything, I needed clearance from the foreign affairs before I resigned and left the country.
Story by Advocacy. With the dog, only Nana Shady and Sia also. Na Nana, Yamon Kwan answered Dr. Bekwan and Nana Shady. Yama Nana Shady, miss the question. Okay, Nana Shady, any patrol. So, what question, Mr. Oliver Maninko?
Yo, Medikai Achia with you for now, my cheer freedom fighters, my boy Juma, Oliver, and Anom Engede, Encounter. You tear for face the country for Chiamo. Now, I think that we need to, I was say, Yijin Yomabion, not a boss ye. Yijin Yomabian boss ye. Toucher, yet touch Oliver. I think that I was say, Yijin PA, at the Quota America, I say, Minion, and you don't want to know. Ye nim da ebeto me president Dr. Ren. Ye nim da bia na shady me medi ntintima baby ebeto me. Ye nim da bia na frema sedi o bagana na wo de bia wodwen say wa adwene mu fenemu na obi nso ana say tankofo ya bi asese. That means say in case like this you Dr. Ren ye chena ye kwa ko teacher Dr. Ren yem e wo ho. ye kwatiti into so ebu Dr. Ren so ewo ho ye kwaye na yakaya kadia kwata ni that means sa nneema we nya de ye nua Oliver miniano aja ye de Oliver no me hu ni say e adeketwa saa ma tra ho na me ye de me jot nneema na I'm giving clients enti ade we nyina na o ye den frame ana still no he is still the man na Oliver ye be ma me sem ye be ma on but enemy two chairman sorry me two chairman hey Sadi way and the yen or airport war and to most sana jay no a bit me out to me one thing about me now I am the me who share obi shoe minianom mama yen funny easy enti things say you and we need to speak about things like this and you don't want to beka Mensa Thompson asepa me ne call gospel mini ana Mensa Thompson eni asepa me ne call ye ni na me and many other people are yati omo yakotocha wo mo aba na asa enfo bia ho enti ye chew ne etocha wa e normal minianom very bad na Oliver make say nanom enkoso enka wo ho because say we ana we ye ma face the country and freedom fighters dia nanom enka wo ho no omo nhye wo den ebinum punim say ye dia ye say ye dwen say ye be chewa na e do ba police station and ye do go to cells na cells go rempo no sister Frema me one boho ye and you may be a cost yourselves or I think say Sunday morning no yeah president and then because na ye and one by one because first interview I met say no or see baby and say one more prison honum na baby a one more da na say ye nua no mu bi e bi a say bi omuntie one city and na say ba ye bi no ko wi aye na e kom anade no but o say baby a ye di ba ko say ye no omo say sardine o say baby to say sardine. These things are all going on. Minianom yo jumaye enemera ko na mesa kase Oliver na nanom enhira o menim se sa nneema we menim da se sa nneema we pa ana wo femu na ka yesa bia anka ebia yenum bi mu no se bia anka ye ku ye ho no ebia anka be ku ye ho mo to bibia na me ka kire wo se yenum se sa nneema we ne bobo etietia wo ado Jesus Christ. And this is an example. Me the bia me ka se menia se bibi se NC ya aya na me hu se ye adwuma you agree with me things like this must happen ana I will say obi yenkum yo moja bi nwu yo I don't still believe say to na ye ndru bibia se moja bi enhwe ngu am Bible ne say boni fefu we emba enti ye ne ayafa ye ho say ye freedom fighters me nuanom say ne dey Oliver o me dey ne say me mbu say Oliver question bibia me dey ne say are we ready? Yene I say freedom fighters I say internet national sanema we ya o free na bro chi ba ye no sebi Dr. Ren also ba be ye bia mayana me ni question bia ma Oliver I have to for ourselves and na say yes ye de abro na ye ba be di ni penia Ghana ye thing it is a sibia Ghana ye de no na say mu say ye no mu bi say ye gina field no so a enti na me see this week na maka say commode me no it hasn't been easy me nuanom. It hasn't been easy with some of us. It hasn't been easy. When you na Oliver Fremu or some hunger strike, say Sebio me and fitting echo me jam fidie so say you nyamku Sebio me na be yesu bi oboje ya freedom fighters and or see a dear in some people say Oliver has done the work of a cry for freedom fighters and friends saying face the country. But the man be say
that's it in your man na shady ba shady media no and na eja me akasa me president so president ba ko pay Dr. Red Pacho who a question be e ma ye nua be ma Oliver na
me nua ba em say e beda ase na yeda eye enyina ase message na shady so be meeting no kakari amami em say me nya feedback wa na me da ase na akasa yebeko so ada yenyina ye ho ase ye chitafo amoda so amota ye chi ye gina so e kobe 2 hours questions are free ma obisa yen so emuda ho to asum kama me gidi se Oliver de eja yenyina adwuma no na ye no freedom fighters ye fix the country yen ye da no ye kasama ekuo no eja yen ye ko age wo man no na de ewom no enie utie nsem a ye bra fam a ɛyɛ nsɛm a ebu nipa spirit ɛna ebu nipa abem na we ma meti aseɛ sɛ Akufo-Addo yɛ obi a wɔyɛ ohufoɔ biara no de biara no de ɔde yɛ ne opponent ne sɛ obebu na bem na wayɛ na yakayaka de na wetietia no so na hyɛ bibi nso wɔ ha sei wɔn sɛ ɔno na yɛ Igbeni no wɔn di ne tribe atem. This is not the first time. City News reporter Caleb, National Security and Sasso Nimu, Omudi in the tribe Nina atem. Oh, baby, I dare no echo. You see, the President Akufo-Addo is a divisionist or a propagandist or an inferior person. It is when you to me be anoa. No person one more, Osusu say, Sebiu, Omo Bobre, was Rosen Idiano, or person can one more share. Akufo-Addo one call law school be a re. To who be to say Oliver. Instead, send Kobe joining and with tear wisdom, no idea wisdom, no. Not Oliver better than a townful. Now, then will because I fix the country. If you insist, if you are now a fool. It is an hypocrite enemy of the state. It is an hypocrite and on G or mine or would dear Nimono on Jindy. Now, in the first place, they didn't obey a president. Obey a president say, obey my problems and also be fix your problems. So you see, clearly, no, it tells you the character of the president Akufo-Addo. Na yani ye din komono wa mo hwe no me see ya bro the 12 disciples we the the principle of Bible no kra nya adwuma. Why don't we share the message? O ma me bia onim Facebook mu, why don't you do voice note bi na mfa send no? Adent na we invite you obi a wote wo kra bi ase o community a wote Mrs. Yes, ye pen kofo omudu omu beka se Dr. Rene ye mabuan kofo edu dunum 20-30 miensa me come on sam pano akere wo mu se meburu no aba na se yenji wo man nso ne ye ho nto yen yusu principle of Bible Umwa na eja e invite na shade no akoma speech kakra e umwa na invite Oliver. These are some of the things we need to do. The entina make us TBA. The riches of Babylon were the result of the wisdom of its people. What is Babylon? Babylon. London, yeah. Sikanwa Babylon niya eno. As a result of nyansani nimdia na krumma fono ewo. Eno ti baby a adwene niya adwuma. Body niya dey ebre. It is a Ghana ye ebre dey just ya adwene niya adwuma. Nipa domo no adwene niya adwuma. Nti efiri na ko mo ya adwene niya adwuma. Yendo o man no yensom o man no. Eno ana me de besia. Na me say nkomo ne de bebre wo because yen hye ne so ye bo no for 5 hours. Etiatia ne yem. Ye ka che so ya Igbeni, just Igbeni de onye nipa. Enso emra ne ye je fa hodie no kwa me nkroma na ne main person ya Igbeni. Echine bi ye de asem ne beto aso na ene de aye Olivanti ye de besia ya. Madam nyina amase.
Yo na me so medase meda freedom fighters so bibiase na me nua bema Oliver medase bebre menim say edafo from mesa to mensa fro nana shedi amanensa so nana mame ma onka say bia na nana no mabem
nana no mabem ampa ye kasa so ye mo kasa no na me wa no ma na me iti nti me jote neoma ensema na Oliver kan neoma me fa free ma me dwen say I think say we need to push it na ebe help it. Oliver, Mr. Pa, let me give an example. Indra, Mekosia, Mr. Entry, or not say face the country, Chiban Fwa, obviously, or Timmy Sandy, $1 be there, the tree of Kumasi. Now, Mekosia, no, na Sebi, obey due being to your na I was a phone qua. Atadia, and I made the call yet, to whom I say, back whom macho man be, hey, Mona, face the country, no. I'm saying, Oliver, you perceive Oliver, you good pa. Sabio, I didn't buy now, what's now, especially buy now, like Casta was radio stations, you know. Man, let me tell you, you see, no, in penny phobia. wo buy okra hu bi no kra ba kope obi e free ni fie eba police station ayewo and he was waiting for a friend say Oliver beba no nature picture keke enti mesere say kafo emanfo be ya motete third party minianom. These are some of the things we need to start. Mo first camera na yenso Oliver mo na onko radio stations e ma maybe mo no especially I say minia internet they don't know anything about it. Me dey be am say meka me say I will always say it. They don't know anything about freedom fighters. They know bibia about face the country. Aya afei Oliver ba ya call radio stations. I've seen improvement, baby. I've seen improvement from people who say, "Sa kwa no sani ebi say oye obe cool." Me call hini fie na me kwenche radio ma me kan wo show yi. Na me ko say face the country atade. Na ye gina ohimfo nyina enim na ye introduce ye ho na me go ka say me ye face the country convener ohini pemu no e wonim say unima anka wa anka say wo free face the country me no me ka say ya bo yin ni ba tell ka say what you say that means empenifo and as dignitaries they don't even understand amodi say we are backed by political party which is NDC me no me anu sin nim say bibia obi antayechi but omo no that's how they were enslaved. So I think that we need to go on the radio stations, TV stations, don't fire, but want to be on by a special obuase, yeji atum, kakra. Number 2, Oliver, ubusan a question about, I don't know the one, or say about the president, or stand the president. The customer he
Parliament.
Very good. Okay, he thinks say we should build from the parliament. Minia, this is something I've always been preaching. So parliament hono at least you build free wo na sebio ma me fa me ho example na shey di me se me wo bo ase me shey ya free the country ye dim pen fo atemi na me ba na me be ka kere wo mo say me ye wo road na ma wo mo na sebi me ba na me be road na ma wo ma what is going to happen over there now the change of mind say okay and crown they mean what they said. Sabienya Oliver baby eshe wan corner bi na just imagine Osajifo Oliver Barker-Vormawor in the Parliament House. Now ya kasa say we should change the constitution. E dey na Oliver be no. Enti sramo president no yebeko say Oliver Sebi me I will use him as an example. Okodi baby na obo adwuma na ye adwuma no mpo na so bete kakra afei Ghana fo na be kasa debi. The guy is changing. So let's push him to the president there. And I think say Dr. Ren Brafi madam dey bia metata Brafi na o constitution ko ye baby master. Enyes cow. I don't think so Oliver was sikabia ana Oliver ye bia o sikabia na minima na. Master dey bia on fan to ko lawyer ana. Ana for I don't think so was sikapu prubi. So we don't need money to come to Ghana. And I said, I think Dr. Rain must come down. Parliament, Number 3, people were very happy. Said Oliver Ekachi program. I say, field marshal. Among for trotro, hey, Oliver, someone in Chika, you are speaking on say, yeah, I can't cheat here, but a majority of the people, cheat no more can't me really comment, me improvement. To say, Oliver, president, on our vanity, about the constitution, no. I think say I don't know. Sebeti ma ye bibi ni start actually no school. Number 4 we so aka kire impemfo bi amudi echi amode amosi mu osika. Na emo mo bese ye ka bom ya na say the third party eba no. Sa na ma we u osika na wa brochi wa. Mo start to schools. We need to rebuild something now. We will fight them but intellect. Mo osika bi mo business mo bia schools na mo de no for constitution ni enhyem sabi edwuma bia na nya ye na ebetimi akon but some generations are coming. We need to input these things in them. And this more schools, more scaffolding, more schools, more yeah, more for way be so na shade, more from membra, and say a man, na yenja is a sebio. Yes, to Babaji will be quite, yes, to Baji down quite that yet. And the fighting, and say you're quite sure by your boys. Mr. Ramo, these are some of the things I enjoy into Oliver. So, first give it my beauty schools be a fire and crown any ambano. because I don't want my child to go to Presbyterian school again. But oh yeah, then go back to school and Presbyterian see it. So no, heaven obedient. Mr. Mo, and also another back. And strictly, and then Troy and Oliver. Osajefo, Osi lawyer name free war. Osajefo Oliver Barker-Vormawor 2020, 2024, I was 100 years. Mr. Yen I have a tauchi, Ma Mosemo Babetichi, a third force, yet every parliament, Yan try Oliver. And not the air strength. So, po ya baba starte and also a friend say yama cause I don't know minya frema show munim de ekọ ya kun to kwani bia ya kokọ bi na ha ya church petition ni bi minya ya de kwa ye hu hwe no kwa na ba kopẹ meka kire wo ya kwa ye hu bibia esa na e ba na ho nam ye ya e ba be da kom na inti amwa ene Brian ebe sra me na minni sika o sa Oliver ya sa yi ni sika butom esa de mo to mo faka inti ya kwa mpre ho san so kire ye minya no Nukula nebe kachire mo Oliver Mr. Boys we me fana mi kan e tuwa kwa ye nyina yakase opro wumpo yesra wo hwe de ko ka say nyansa we osumie mu go and think about it. Like you say na no so person that say you can lead because who can send be maybe person be chat to or say ya nya constitution ni ye ya na face the country for who say ye gina he your point say na say yampu ye kodi hono ma na ye be di amansika and this is honest man wa fa no say ye won nchen e yan pan so na say me kodance e graduate ye ko 5 billion me na me hu say mo beto me a me ni sika no sika ye moja o constitution no Oliver say wonim ho ntokwa de a ene start na yen ko hedi be just imagine me dey say so Oliver justice side and go for so no free and this no be kan ye omo ina say send message mo justice Simon Xavier mo munjai sa NBC ni no free ona mo bra youth no stay near da ho me sa fa kwan we so attach obi ase oboase wonim obi a oboase a tie mutie nie mon kan kire boasefo nyina obi a wotu kwan bia won bra fie ye ba beji adwuma ama boasefo because ya tena ha my commode ye first one ye call ye ne ohene no osema me ye demonstration no na ka de besi oboase ase no e bia nka be nyan eno nti ye di enidie ama ye ohene because ohene ana ye den e ka echi osi ye njai bibia ama no obekon yakosam ama no wo besi ye nyamesuro ana tete ye nti ye di enidie ama ohene na emom ohene ema ye at least ultimatum 2 weeks say ono ana abesi no nti onye oye edwuma ayene amaye nana okoji aman Mr. said de wode wonsa asomu yi be gina fidie so apawacha ma munim no for me na hene Mr. mo empefo bitie Mr. mo kan say said de aboase boys no mu tia bomu na ekoma ede wo mo no say 2 weeks no o ma nte asem da a de ebesi boase no me say de ebesi boase no bia na anyefe because ye beka say AGA ye ne de ebuo ema ye hene no eni nti ne ejai demonstration na ba ba ye enti se AGA no wanfo buo ama ye hene dia na ye ne no de ombuye enti den e be ka kire ne say ene ye agi asase ana ye ne mu nye dwuma oboase bi awoni oboase bi ya mo kan kire wo mo se de eni abre na ekomode ye no ye metena ma ekomode ye sa ema enipa me se mi fo bi emefo sika wa me nua ekomode ye me de ma no besi
me das nana shedi na no mba ne so sa dia agro nim kra yo ansa na meja mi nua be ma Oliver amana ko ye nua ba Otiaba TV adwan ne ye Otiaba Mr. Bebre wo question bi de ma ye nua be ma Oliver pacho manenko me pacho ye nti won ka mi nua ba Otiaba
me pa mo chamo te me nka sese ya
afide ye ti nana shedi pacho ya no meet o wana mame
yo Oliver ngame shroud Bebre because for a young, strong, energetic, charismatic, wise man like you, wafa edma we ato ho so no we baby say I didn't know a young man he on using the life and find a baby. You know, Ghana no ye na yenim say Ghana for service e pesemin kominya. Ghana for ent na honom endwe ne nyonko Ghana ni hu na mo obedwe foreigner na waba fie waba Ghana kromo honom ne ho obeye papa ama foreigner but on dream say onye papa man the chrome ni na say the chrome many no ne tie no na ema me bo abaso because as a young man na once na hono man ka say you know let me just use my life for something very tangible in life na me nche me man na me jere and I'm a girlfriend na we two life we see ho say wo bo Ghana no nyame nhyira because de wakom de wo kom de wo gusu e kom wo Ghana no so one course at tibia ni mu da we be feel say it was easy and I say it's easy na eya na metna ha me dwen ho say sebe Ghana mpanimfo ya brofo omo ya bro I mean comfort na obi anti bi Ghana mpanimfo ya bor what abor kapede say as in oida was to be oida one fun to ho na we fra ato ansan wa dwene ho de as ye huni ya nche ye fun to ye emebuni ya sora ye kasa sisi ya ye Ghana won daache these people when we through there that should be wakabaya 5 6 7 years that we will but Abia, the energetic, charismatic, powerful, outspoken young men with energy, with all the intelligence, no, are going to be the ones that actually will be doing one of them. Oh yeah, me here there in Ghana and paying for. Do they still think about it? Do they think about us? Oh, worry ye be no way we are quackada. Worry ye, no way, Zimawaka, no way, Wuna wakada. Namawaki, Chiniha, ya offended for you. Se Ghana here one ne can call or do you wasazi. Wasazi mean Ghana has to be your priority, your first priority in life. It's we don't have to sit down and wait for some obroni bi fini krom ha sa ba Ghana ye. Na ya kado damazi or you very good na yen follow. Why can't we support Yankasa Yeni youth now? Why can't Ghanaians support them? Somebody like Oliver, we devote the life just to do the right thing for Ghana, just to speak for the less privileged in Ghana, just to speak for the underprivileged, the ones that don't count in Ghana. Why can't Ghanaians support this young man? And it's so sad that when you ukasa, another kasa, obaba kacho there in Boise, when you on Swazi, a custom pay for name, as a sow herba, she, so be ankoka papa, and jicred de. Se bribi ankoka papa, and jicred de. I didn't not Ghana penny for what's na honum, at the tomb who from among kola and then kola as I say a treble answer. What is going on? Frema, Ghana for Omonia Bray like that. Ghana for do they really crave for the goodness in life like that? Ghana for idea sa me pese me busa sa somewhere because if not then we are fighting in vain. Say Ghana for idea and they are not craving and yearning for the goodness in life dear. Not to say we are fighting in vain. This is the question I want you, Frema, to ask Ghanaians to say. Are they really happy in the situation they found themselves in? And now say, do they really crave and yearn for the goodness in life? Sentisadia, and can almost near any freedom fighter or to the platform. So and also fix the country near to the platform. So air casa, almost near and can't say page maybe. I don't think say a Jumani so first shovel. Any pickers, esi atu abeti. Now what the nam na wo ye Juma. Menyesha sa nkwani Juma. Ejuma means we have to speak for the country na ye free mono. Yes, my baba naturalized to America. But it said the krana me busuafo gu Ghana, me ko Ghana. From time to time, it's Ghana for ye busuafo no mu gu hono no. Are they ready for the goodness that Ghana comes with? Kasa youth no air kasa no. Do they hear and answer a party sem and I do crow said Jimmy. Sister, Cape Coast, Mimi free Cape Coast, Efrio, Kakra, we can say Eastern region. Now, Moment cast, I mean, Chomatna Cape Coast all my life. It's a Cape Coast now, it's not, you know. I buy beer, but beer and fat beer and Cape Coast for because I'm for some way for. What's you say? Now, what try Asher say Cape Coast, Moody, Mabeko Hon Mako has said, Mana, they call on the bay yana. Okasa, na Ghana for you, do what, sister. Ayamiya, me ba Ghana be kasaye about this COVID issue. Me come for came and find the forts now honum chami at the car. Me see for me self say Ghana for say, are they ready for the goodness that comes with them living in that country now? They want all the good resources in this whole world. Ghana is one of the world, sir. And one of the countries, sir. We have all these good resources. But we are the ones who want to do it from because we are not serious and we are not ready enough to fight for our own. Ghana for not serious like that. Frema, ain't me pamochau. Kasana ye, kasana yen kansi so de embusa Ghana for say, oh my ready. And are they craving for the goodness of Ghana? Are they craving for the betterment for Ghana? So my ready, that's almost craving, that's almost journey. That's almost 8 freedom fighters, anything the country for dia. And ya Ghana, I was a most sorry, mamma. One sorry, my yen nipa is at 20, yen to me, and my Ghana, ye. And yeah, that's na hanoma kasa. Nanko se for we muku honum, diskatuchi. Pacha me demand we see Oliver Yamin Shrow, and an ashading Yamin Shrow, Freeman Yamin Show, Bibia Otie, a can so to about freedom fighters, and then an ashading Freeman Shobia, Yamin Shramo, me demand we see.
Yo, you better say, you know about Utiaba TV and I'm in Kano. Nana shade is also you come for back to pay and another coupe, or no sooner or tie chair over your chidom. And you're not as that PC ever come my Amy Oliver. Say, you're 2 years afraid or now, what that J was no. Now near better trim como ya Joe Mresi almost 2.5 hours. Yeah, sorry. The questions need you will be brave. Meaning say a brace in my bread by a 1 2 years after also. On tree ya no from obedia to no bana what be any. And now you wish you near be brave. Answer your becono, Mr. Oliver. O last word I would dema for Ansana ya momo bye.
From my say, I say, you know, first of all, won't say member and common here. I did back open a day in so. I can use a Sunday for a different thing. Now, the na see emro, send me the me femu, ne the sabe fem, or mre no. Me catch a Ghana for say, yen, it's a way you na by a qua, yen so. Because se kamen kwa na chese me opportunity se me multiply me home 1 million akon se Ghana for bet na fie na makon dia kameye na na shedi wo hoyi so beye akobeye die ebetimi amma mo nyina ye de mamo ya ho ndi nyina ye de ye shem ye dwuma nyina ya sacrifice ye de ye se ne dachin bi nti dachin bi ye ma enko tru de ye ko tru say ye future be ye better na ye de ye it me sremu someone someone from one gym na mo train salvation mo train yesu bi fi baby a enye yie ya moa ye kra soro kra ntimi moa ye obi embisa chese ye frɛ ayimpo na chese ayi baaye ilevi asemi baaye ye frɛ demonstration po a Ghana 40 baby ade ba wie ya na chese na mo fa phone na mo frɛ ye na mo nya baby enu mo mo ama no ne no po a sem ne nka mo no no mo mom na support omo no mo sponsor nkrofo se bus omo nye campaign na den na ye te ha no mom no ye frɛ ne say ne chese bibi Ghana ne ya say ye wie debi di mesremo adwuma ye be nyina kasa nyina se yen ye ho beto yen da achi binti ye mbisa wo hwe ayi demonstration pa ye kan fa 1 hour benante
Oh,
and na obi bisa wo ye kan se demo e levy ye se ye pe nipa 1 million abesi ho abato a nipa 12 million ko to aba ebinim kra fam wu mu wi na makoto aba ma obi na mabeda aden na de ha yen na se na obi timi de bibi si ho na hiafo na je se e punish hiafo mo hwe E-levy no. You say wo bank account wo transfer up to 20,000 Ghana cedis a yento. Nti je say ye de aba momo no so a na nye sikafo ne target omo. Hiafo ne target. Because there's no reason here no on be yes exception na akodu 20,000. But momo na and na hiafo use no. And no mom no na just say after 100 ne beto. Nti ye ka mo amuni bie mo a politicians no ayaresa bie yensie na tax a ye say ye be support your healthcare ni nyina so ye gidie na mo no moti be na mo ye excuses mo na mo ye mo ko amamo nti be dem pa na Ghana ye mo ye ko amamo no a chese ye chimo ma anase ye chimo ko police station ye ma mo aduane na police fo na ebro mu na ebi mu wu fa mu wu se dinwa be ma ye a nkranza for youth a ye kokuno Albert donc adent dem pa na yenye na hu se nye fa hudi na yetim na mo sorry enye bibi fa ho ye de betimi akoso ye be koso aye ya fa mu de ye be koso nso se be ye yie ama na kore nim de na gina Ghana fosu fema me da se
yo ene na miss me da se na mada etiefo a mo so mo se mada je a mo gina so ahwe ya bepim sa be da mo ase mo questions ne do so next time I beto in South Oliver no me mo kwan na mo de mo questions aba na mo questions ni mom na me gina so na me de aba so na one ye ndia be din sa wo so afin so sabre no eda na ye be friend next time no ye the link no be to page ni so na wo wan kasa wasem bi se bia ya ma wa join na wonso wa bisa na sem no we ni de na ye pese muhu Oliver ye kana sem no muti na num asem na muhu nipa ban a wo ye panyefo si me ko bi na ma ka bi de ene wan ko bi kra enkaye ene na me de aseda ebe ma obi bia se wo se wadaje na obehwe me me kuma mama jail me ka che de se be Oliver interview no wono na wo fa me ho ka mata de ye hye me masoma de ene ade da me ko mu nyina one fa me ho ka o ma me ho ayefe ma ye jerof me do bibia si nti da se de ebe se hia one love me da masi.
Bye, guys.
And I assure you, just like Henry VIII said to each of his wives, I shall not keep you long. I must warn you, though, that my intervention today is likely going to be rambling, so I hope you come to it expecting neither structure nor form. I originally intended it as a poem rather than a policy document. For me, it's a poem about resilience and the promise of a new Ghana. In that respect, I suspect that my intervention is likely to be quite different in tone than anything else you've heard today. Now, 8 months ago, I was a different person. I was a person preoccupied with different interests, mainly the philosophy of law and cognitive psychology. I was a person convinced, like many of my generation, that our democracy had not only failed, but was irremediably broken. We knew it needed fixing, that much we were certain of. Except between us, we understood intuitively that it was impossible to fix. And even if it wasn't, our politics will not allow it. It was too vicious. Innocent lives had been lost in the project to fix Ghana. Many had been maimed and communities left fractured. In many regards, those lost and broken lives served as a cautionary tale for why we citizens, or perhaps more accurately subjects, needed to remain pliant and toe the line. We knew to stay away from any ambitious projects of reimagining or pursuing a different vision for our society. Our parents raised us to be afraid of dreaming different. They made no virtue of bold defiance against the political system that had impoverished them and us. My generation was raised to give up. The price of our democracy is that it killed our imagination. It undermined our self-worth and made us distrust the legitimacy of our dreams. There's no denying that before fixing the country, I too enjoyed the benefit of my relative anonymity. I was known only to those who knew me, and those who knew me well. I was hardly the object of public controversy, and Ghana's broken politics served only as a periodic distraction from a life I had a better grasp on. It was both peaceful and valued. It was a life that took me to working in the biggest law and policy firm in Washington, D.C., in close proximity with several of